From beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, this afternoon, two of the best offenses in the entire ACC collide as number 19 Virginia Tech looks for its fourth win of the season, while Wake Forest tries to get over 500 for the first time in 2020. Welcome into 3304 Sports. It's so great to have you along with us. Alongside Andy Loce, my name is Evan Hughes. Andy, we should be in for a good one today. Two teams averaging over 40 points per game. Could be a shootout today in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, if you like offensive scoring when it comes to football, this is the matchup you have to watch within the ACC. Virginia Tech bringing in 42 points per game this year. It's been the running game. That's been the story of them. You bring Hendon Hooker back, who made his first start of the season last week against Boston College and had 18 carries for 164 yards and a touchdown. But that's not the featured guy who's running the ball this year like it was last year. That's Khalil Herbert, the grad transfer coming from the University of Kansas. He has been the running back of the week with his performance against Duke back on October 3rd, but he also leads the ACC in rushing yards. He has been a name that has been discussed about in Heisman conversations, so he's a guy that will be going up against today against the Wake Forest rush defense that has been great. We'll touch on that later. But for Sam Hartman, he gets the starting job back after Jamie Newman picked up his bags and went down to Athens, Georgia to play for the Bulldogs. But now he comes back into the game, backs into the Wake Forest offense, and he's been playing well. He hasn't thrown an interception all year. The Demon Deacons are the last team in the ACC not to, but Kenneth Walker III had a monster performance last week. He was the ACC running back of the week against the University of Virginia, had 140 yards and 3 touchdowns against the other Commonwealth team. He's on the Doak Walker award watch list, so he's a guy that will be interesting to watch today. So I'm looking at the running game as being the pivotal point for both teams in tonight's matchup.
Khalil Herbert has been so good this year for Virginia Tech. You mentioned the transfer from Kansas coming in and making an immediate impact. So far this season for Khalil Herbert, he's leading the country with 148 yards per game. And this is a traditional offense under Justin Fuente that's known for throwing the football. He likes to have a mobile quarterback. Hendon Hooker certainly fits that mold. But this is a different look for Coach Fuente to be a run-first, pass-second offense like we've seen this year.
Yeah, he's actually gotten plenty of questions about it, and he said the reason why we haven't been throwing the ball that much is because we've had such comfortable leads with running the football. You say the 3 wins that they've had, they've pretty much dominated from beginning to end. So why throw the ball when you're up that much? And that's really what he was trying to talk about. But you talk about the wide receivers. Trey Turner really hasn't been able to have a breakout game yet this season. He's still lacking a touchdown. Tavion Robinson has scored this year for the Hokies, but besides that, the receiving game has been very quiet. James Mitchell, the tight end, has a receiving touchdown as well, but that's a good point. The running game has been what's been the focus, and if you saw the game last week against Boston College, that's where it came at, and the only receiving touchdown came from Khalil Herbert, who caught the ball on a check down pass and ran 29 yards into the score. So for Fuente, I think this passing game, it can be put aside with the success that they're having on the field in the 3-1 start on the year.
And 312 yards per game on the ground for Virginia Tech. It's second nationally. Khalil Herbert leads the country in yards per game on the ground. You mentioned the Heisman conversation that he's been a part of through 7 weeks of the season. Pro Football Focus College put out their top 5 Heisman hopefuls, and Khalil Herbert came in at number 5 with the stats he's put up this season. Let's touch on Hendon Hooker quickly. The Hokies, again, coming in ranked 19th in the country, 3-1 on the season, coming off a 40-14 win over Boston College. He makes his season debut against North Carolina, the Hokies' lone loss a couple of weeks back, but starts against Boston College. He goes over 150 yards on the ground, got it done through the air. What does he bring to this Virginia Tech offense compared to maybe Braxton Burmeister, who started the season for Virginia Tech at quarterback?
Well, Burmeister started the season. In that first game, he had good ball control, and he didn't really turn the ball over, and at times he didn't seem like he was the perfect fit. And we saw that in that first game against NC State, and then Duke, and then in North Carolina when the Hokies were struggling to get going early. And when Hendon Hooker came back in, you can just tell this is his offense. You can tell that's what the coaching staff is built around, the playbook's built around Hendon Hooker. And for anyone else to really step into that role, it's going to be very difficult because, Hooker is that run-first kind of guy here at Virginia Tech. He did it last year. He did it against Boston College as well. Like you mentioned, he had more rushes than passes thrown in that game. So You're right. I think Hendon Hooker just is the perfect fit for this offense. And if anyone else tried to really step in on it, I don't think it's going to be that great of a move.
What a job Dave Clawson has done at Wake Forest over the last couple of seasons. The Demon Deacons have made 4 consecutive bowl games under Dave Clawson, and you look at this offense. It looked like they lost a lot in the offseason with Jamie Newman. You mentioned him transferring from Wake Forest to Georgia, the quarterback who's now sitting out this season for the Bulldogs. No Sage Surratt, who's going to be a likely first-round pick for the 2021 NFL Draft. But Sam Hartman, who was the starter as a true freshman in 2018, back up last year. He gets the starting job back. And he's completing 62% of his passes, 139 consecutive passes without an interception. He doesn't turn the football over. And this is a Wake Forest offense that has some momentum coming in today. They started the season 0-2, then put up over 40 points on Campbell and UVA last week. What should we make of Hartman and the offense today?
Well, I think Hartman, the offense, is working really well. We mentioned on Kenneth Walker III, he has 7 rushing touchdowns on the year, and he's listed as the number 2 guy on the depth chart. You have Beal Smith as a starter. He hasn't been able to have that great of a season. He was the leading rusher against Clemson, but the receivers are what makes this offense great as well. Donovan Green and Jacory Roberson are averaging over 15 yards per catch. Donovan Green upwards to 19.8. Roberson sitting at 15.7. So these are deep threat guys, and Wake Forest has that speed, and that's what makes a perfect matchup against the Virginia Tech secondary today. We got the news before the game started that Jermaine Waller won't be starting or playing the game, and for a secondary that really hasn't been able to be all healthy at the same time, that's really been the weaknesses showed. That's what showed against North Carolina. When the Tar Heels were able to put 56 points against the Hokies defense, it was because they were able to go downfield. And Hartman isn't going to shy away from that as well, especially with the wideouts he has.
You look at some of the numbers this year. 28% of Sam Hartman's passes have been 20 or more yards downfield. That's the highest rate in the ACC. And 13% big-time throw rate for Sam Hartman. Coach Justin Fuente was mentioning how even if the Demon Deacons have the ball on the 1-yard line, they're a threat to throw it vertically and throw it deep. So this is a Wake team that puts up a lot of points. Again, the Demon Deacons coming into today at 2-2 on the season. They've won 2 in a row against Campbell and UVA. Virginia Tech 3-1 on the year with their lone loss coming to North Carolina. Again, it should be a good one today with a lot of points that puts a lot of pressure on both teams' defenses. And let's start with Wake Forest. Andy, I think this might be the story of the game. The Demon Deacons defense gives up nearly 200 rushing yards per game. That's next to last in the ACC. Virginia Tech is the second best rushing team in the country. It's going to be a busy day for guys on the defensive line such as Carlos Basham and Suleiman Kamara if the Demon Deacons are going to come away with a victory.
It's going to be very difficult for them to come away with this victory with this defensive line, but that's where you can make the stand-up performance. You got the guy who has been, you mentioned the graphic guys on there with the likes of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. That hasn't inspired this Wake Forest defensive line and just say, hey, he's been playing great so far, but we can do a little bit better. And they haven't had that perfect game yet, but what's going to have to be created by that is the idea of just we can step up to it, we can take to the task, and that just builds momentum up. If you make a stop here and there, that builds, some confidence within each other. And I think it's going to be a personal reflection on how they're able to really stop the ball from Khalil Herbert today. But Herbert's been unstoppable so far this year. It seems like whenever he gets the ball, he's just able to, maneuver his way through defenses so easily. And it's going to be a tough task today for the Demon Deacons.
Again, it's great to have you with us on 3304 Sports. Coming up in just a few minutes, number 19, Virginia Tech at Wake Forest. Andy and I will be with you for the call. And let's touch on this Virginia Tech defense. They're starting to finally get healthy and get their full starting rotation back, especially in the secondary. This has been a team that's been affected by COVID-19 and contact tracing. The Hokies are going to be without 8 players today. That's the lowest they've had in any game this season. No Jermaine Waller, you mentioned it, the Hokies' number 1 cornerback, but Breon Murray has been playing well. He came back last week. So has Armani Chapman. And then the surprise of the year, Dorian Strong, a true freshman cornerback, 6 foot, 174-pound cornerback, has really been a surprise for Virginia Tech. But, Andy, they're getting their full complement of players back, and that's a good sign for this Virginia Tech team.
It is a good sign for this Virginia Tech team. They've been able to score points, but the problem is that their teams that they've been playing against have also been able to rack up points against them as well. Prior to last week against Boston College, where they will hold the Eagles to 14 points, teams are scoring 45, 38, 24. They were getting a lot of points up on this Virginia Tech defense. And to bring the pieces back is just so great. And especially in the first year with defensive coordinator Justin Hamilton, it must have been very stressful for him to really go out there, which was his first game against North Carolina, but without your defensive key players, that just creates a lot of confusion, and it's going to not be the greatest performance. And when you have a first-year guy with Justin Hamilton, you want to have everyone out there and play well. And now they're starting to get them back. You know, as we see some veteran players on there. Devon Diablo coming back as well. Jamari Connor will be wearing the number 25 jersey today for Virginia Tech. Dax Hollyfield as well. And you got Hewitt on the line. Just these pieces coming back and forming a great team is going to be what's important in this matchup in the season.
Both of these teams are known for their offense. Pro Football Focus has Virginia Tech as the number 1 offense in the ACC. Right behind them at number 2, it's Wake Forest. Both teams averaging over 40 points per game. Number 19, Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest. We are moments away from kickoff. We're going to step aside for a break, but when we come back to Truist Field, Andy Loce on the call for the first half as the Hokies take on the Demon Deacons. This is 3304 Sports Live from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Hello and welcome here to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where today the number 19th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies will take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. It's a wonderful day down here in Winston-Salem, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, partly cloudy skies, as the 3-1 Virginia Tech look to continue their reign in the ACC, and Wake Forest looks to get above 500 for the first time in 2020. I'm Andy Loce, joined alongside Evan Hughes. And Evan, it's going to be a great game of football down here in Winston-Salem.
Two offenses averaging over 40 points per game. Wake Forest with momentum coming off their big win over Virginia last week. Meanwhile, the Hokies defense forced 5 Boston College turnovers last week. Both teams with momentum. And Andy, I think we'll be in for a treat today. A lot of points today in Winston-Salem.
Oh, that's going to be the case for sure. You look at Virginia Tech averaging 42 points per game on the year. Wake Forest not that far behind with 40.3. We're getting ready for kickoff here. It's going to be all whites today for Virginia Tech on the road as Khalil Herbert is in the backfield getting ready to take this kickoff. As we're getting ready, Wake Forest going with the gold helmets and the black top and the black bottom on the jersey today, as we are getting ready to get this game started. Kickoff is away as we are underway here in Wake Forest, as it will go out the back of the end zone and be a touchback, which will bring on quarterback Hendon Hooker, who made his first start of the season last week against Boston College, 11 of 15 through the air. But what was important by him was his 18 carries for 164 yards, Evan.
Yeah, Hooker really doing a great job of making this a dual threat kind of backfield, of course, with Khalil Herbert, the nation's leading rusher. But Hooker showing that he can tuck it and run when he needs to, over 150 yards on the ground. Impressive in the win.
Both quarterbacks in today's game have yet to throw an interception this year with 3 touchdown passes each. It's going to start with Hooker in the shotgun as he's going to fake the handoff to Khalil Herbert and runs up the middle before he's met by the D-line of Wake Forest. And it's going to be a 2-yard carry there for number 2, Hendon Hooker. And, Evan, we talked about the rush defense of Wake Forest. It's had some problems this year.
Yeah, it's had some problems, but it also has a couple of really talented pieces, including Carlos Basham, the 6'5", redshirt senior from Roanoke, Virginia. This game certainly means a lot to him, being from Southwest Virginia, not playing for the Hokies. He's playing at Wake Forest.
Hooker back in the shotgun. Herbert to his left, 4 wide receivers. Here comes Blackshear in motion, and Hooker hands it off to Blackshear, and he runs for about, it's going to be 2 yards short, a 6-yard carry for Raheem Blackshear. And it talks about the transfer running backs. Khalil Herbert has taken the stage away, but Raheem Blackshear, another transfer from Rutgers, that can be a standout player for this Virginia Tech team.
Blackshear, someone who can line up in the slot as a receiver. He also, of course, a talented running back, very versatile, had a touchdown run last week against Boston College.
Hokies working with the quick 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Hooker and shotgun. Here comes the motion for Raheem Blackshear. It's another jet sweep to the left side, and it's going to be enough for a first down for Virginia Tech. They move the chains on their first drive of the game. Raheem Blackshear working out for a 4-yard carry, and now at the Virginia Tech 37.
Excellent blocking on the perimeter by Virginia Tech. James Mitchell, the tight end, as well as a couple of receivers. Not a lot of action for the receivers last week against Boston College through the air, but they block so well for these Tech running backs.
Hooker and shotgun again, 2 wide receivers. Going to fake the handoff to Herbert. Throws it to the left side, and it's overthrown The intended target was Tavion Robinson for the first throw in today's game, which will bring up 2nd and 10, 13:30 to go here in Wake Forest.
Only 5 Virginia Tech receivers have caught passes this year. Trey Turner, the number 1 receiver on this Tech team, limited to just 8 receptions. He was questionable this week, but he is playing today. Will he get Trey Turner involved early? That's a question for the Hokies offense.
2nd and 10 now as Hooker hands it off to Herbert. He cuts to the right, cuts back inside, and works his way just short of that first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and short. I believe it's going to be a 9-yard carry there for number 21, and that's the first good run we've really seen from Khalil today.
Looked like an outside run the whole way, and then Herbert stops his momentum, cuts up the middle. Excellent vision.
3rd and short now. Hooker and shotgun again. 2 wide receivers to the right. Herbert in the backfield. Robinson coming in motion from the left side, and the play is blown dead. I believe it's going to be a timeout for Virginia Tech, and Justin Fuente going out there and not happy with what the play was going to be run there. A 3rd and short, it's a pivotal play coming up now for Virginia Tech, and they're going to have to make sure to get the first down. But we're going to go to a quick break here from Wake Forest. It's Virginia Tech 0, Wake Forest 0. Welcome back here to Truist Field, and it's going to be 3rd and short for Virginia Tech. They're at the 46-yard line, and Virginia Tech coming off a timeout in that game where we were seeing that there looked to be a little confusion between Hooker and Fuente, but this timeout will definitely be helpful for the discussion on what they're going to run here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an important drive, the first of the game. Virginia Tech would like to jump on the scoreboard first. 3rd and inches. Khalil Herbert coming off a nice 9-yard run. Curious to see if they'll give it to him again here on 3rd and short.
Well, that's definitely the case, and for Virginia Tech, they've been going run first for pretty much everything. Only 1 pass throw for Hooker in the first drive of this game. It's the 13:05 mark. So just getting into this game here if you're just joining us here on 3304 Sports. And here's the formation now as Hooker's going to be in that shotgun position. Khalil Herbert in that backfield. You see James Mitchell a little removed from the line of scrimmage, but 2 wide receivers to the right. As there's a little delay before we get this game resumed after the timeout. So here's Hooker in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to Herbert. He's got to power his way through, and he's not going to get there. Denied by Basham Jr. He's a defensive lineman that we were highlighting in the pregame show, and he makes a big stop on the first drive.
Carlos Basham, all 6'5", 285 pounds of him there, right up the middle. Herbert got the handoff, and that's just Basham doing a great job of beating the offensive lineman to the spot there. That was just one-on-one strength of Basham against the strength of Herbert, and Basham wins the battle. It's 4th and 1.
Well, this will bring out Oscar Bradburn, one of the better punters in the ACC. He's going to punt it from around his own 35, and another great punt from the Australian, as it's going to be a fair catch made at the Wake Forest 8. Taylor Moran waving for the fair catch, and this will now bring on the Demon Deacons offense. They are just as great as Virginia Tech when it comes to scoring the game, and Sam Hartman has been great at taking over the starting role so far this season.
Pro Football Focus has Virginia Tech ranked as the number 1 offense in the ACC. Right behind the Hokies, it's the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, averaging over 40 points per game. Hartman, one of the underrated quarterbacks in the ACC.
He gets a job back after Jamie Newman leaves for the University of Georgia. He is sitting out this season, though, due to the transfer policy. But now Wake Forest is getting the offense underway. Hartman in the shotgun, throws to the right side of the field. It's a screen pass to Roberson, who breaks a few tackles, staying on his feet, and he'll get about 6 yards on the play. Man, it was a lot of action there on that one.
Yeah, Roberson, Pro Football Focus, go back to them. They have ranked Roberson as the highest rated ACC offensive player, 92.6 overall rating for Roberson. He can get it done the short passing game, also a deep threat.
2nd and 4 now on the 14. A quick pass into the screen once again from Hartman. He found his target, Perry, who goes for about 3, just short of that first down marker. So Wake Forest working it quick here. Virginia Tech was working it quick in their first drive as well. So both offenses aren't messing around and just getting going quickly.
Wake Forest is going to want to test this young Virginia Tech secondary that's been depleted the last couple of weeks. They're now back at full strength, but haven't had as much practice time. So I'm curious to see how much Sam Hartman attacks down the field. Looks like we have an injured player down.
Yeah, so A.T. Perry, who came up with the catch on the last play, is working on his left ankle, and we will go to break now as it's 0-0 here in Truist Field. Welcome back here to Truist Field in Wake Forest. It's still 0-0 between both teams. A.T. Perry able to walk off on his own, which is a great sign after a left ankle Here to do something with the left ankle. He puts his helmet on. Doesn't look to be too serious, which is very fortunate from the wide receiver of Wake Forest. And now even both teams have yet to score in this game, but the offense has been able to make some plays that can stand out in this one.
Yeah, Virginia Tech ran the ball well on their opening drive, and Wake Forest a couple of quick bubble screen passes for Sam Hartman to get him going offensively through the air. Big third down here, though, for the Hokies defense.
Yeah, Virginia Tech made a third down conversion on their first drive, but were stopped on 3rd and 1. Wake Forest has an opportunity to convert here. Hartman takes a snap at his own 12, and it's a handoff, and it's a big hole ahead of him. It's going to be Beal Smith. He runs out to the right side. He's got open field. Coming back is Devin Taylor, who pushes him out of bounds, and that's the first big play of the game. It is Christian Beal Smith. He was a leading rusher against Clemson in the season opener. He has a huge one there as he breaks free for 58 yards.
Excellent vision from Beal Smith. Cuts to the outside, and then he cuts back inside right through the Hokies linebacking core, off to the races. Devin Taylor lucky to catch him.
Hartman takes a snap from the 25 of Virginia Tech. Beal Smith with it again, and a big wrap up there from Jamari Connor as Beal Smith was working out to the left side. Didn't get that much on it, but it was 3-yard pickup, and Wake Forest is looking to strike first.
Well, as good as Sam Hartman is, he's complemented by two terrific backs in Kenneth Walker II and Christian Beal Smith.
Hartman takes a snap from the 22 of Virginia Tech, and it will be a short gain again for Beal Smith as he's wrapped up and tackled by what I believe is Alan Tisdale, who wrapped him up. Is Amari Barno, who wraps him up. So now 3rd and 6 on this drive now as it's on the 22 of Virginia Tech, and Wake Forest at the big-time drive are now going to have to convert here to really get the first touchdown in the game. Here's Hartman in the shotgun. He takes a snap from the Virginia Tech 21. Looking to the left side, he fires, and it's caught by Ja'Cory Roberson on that left sideline right in front of the Hokies, and he looks to be stepped out of bounds at the 14.
And Ja'Cory Roberson got both feet in. That's an NFL catch. Look at what Wake Forest is doing, though. They're running up the middle, they're passing vertically, and getting receivers open on the sidelines, really stretching that Virginia Tech defense early.
There's 3 wide receivers out for Wake Forest, where Hartman's in the shotgun, takes a snap at the 14, hands it off to Walker for the first time in today's game, and he falls down inside the 10. A penalty on the play. We'll see what that one is, but after we saw what Walker was able to do last week, are you a little surprised that they went with Beal Smith for that big-time carry right there?
Well, I think Wake Forest knew early that they were going to hand the ball off to Christian Beal Smith and get him going early. Walker II is more of the feature back in this offense, but here's the thing. Christian Beal Smith came off the field last play to get a breather for Virginia Tech. No breaks with Walker II now getting a couple of touches. He's fresh, and an offsides call on Virginia Tech, so a penalty hurts the Hokies there.
Well, yes, it looks to be on Justice Reed at the 5-yard penalty. Let's watch that one again as he's on the left side of the line of scrimmage, and before Hartman gets a snap, he appears to go right in, and now 1st and 5 for Wake Forest. Hartman takes in the shotgun, looks to keep it himself. He runs down to the right side. He's got open field, and he is in. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Sam Hartman calls his number and gives the Demon Deacons a 6-0 lead.
Sam Hartman, not known for his wheels, but there, pressure coming, the pocket collapses, he steps up, he finds open space, and he walks in untouched. What a drive for Wake Forest, a drive in which they really didn't highlight the strength of their team, which is the receiving core. Christian Beal Smith, a 50-plus yard run, they convert on 3rd down twice, and Sam Hartman, the exclamation point with the rushing touchdown.
We were highlighting the Wake Forest rushing defense, how it's not the best, but right now Virginia Tech looks to have some problems as the extra point is good by Skiba to make it 7-0 now. Wake Forest up early at home against the Virginia Tech Hokies as the captain, number 10, runs it himself, and it looks to be against the ranked number 19 Virginia Tech. 9:31 to go here in the first quarter. Wake 7, Virginia Tech 0. Welcome back here to Truist Field, where Wake Forest has a 7-0 lead over the Virginia Tech Hokies. A 96-yard drive that started at their own 8, and they're able to work their way down. Of course, Christian Beal Smith being the major factor in that drive with that 58-yard run, and then it led up to Sam Hartman calling his own number on 1st and goal and gave them the 7-0 lead. So we talked about how Wake Forest rushing defense was the problem, and Virginia Tech looks to be having their struggles as well right now as you look into the game. In this first drive between both teams now, you see that Wake Forest seems to be a little bit more comfortable.
Well, I think Wake Forest did a really good job of showing their balance on offense on that first drive. They also converted twice on third down, including inside their own 10-yard line. That's when Beal Smith had that 58-yard run that really set the tone for that drive. Impressed, though, with the play calling on that drive, keeping Virginia Tech off balance, and Hartman using his feet. He's not known for being a mobile quarterback, but he showed there with the pocket collapsing. He does have the wheels to score in the red zone. Wake Forest up 7-0. It's a big drive here for Virginia Tech to try and answer. Both these teams averaging over 40 points coming into today. It has the makings to be a shootout.
So now Crane was back and now ready to kick it off to Khalil Herbert once again, as the kicker points at both sides, and kickoff is away as it will go into the end zone, where Khalil Herbert will just let it hop out of bounds. And now the Hokies offense coming back onto the field, and Hendon Hooker and the team are going to try to really match the Wake Forest score right now.
Yeah, this is, again, a big drive here. The Hokies had 3rd and 1. They called a timeout to get the play call that they wanted. Khalil Herbert was stuffed by Carlos Basham. Big play, arguably the play of the game for Wake Forest, because it turned the ball over to their offense. Curious to see how much balance we see on this drive from Virginia Tech.
So the drive will start at the Virginia Tech 25 as Hooker's in the shotgun and 3 wide receivers set. Blackshear comes in motion. It's a fake jet sweep as Hooker stepping back, and will check it down to Khalil Herbert to the left side. And he has a lot of room. Cuts back inside again. He's out and out in the midfield as he's tackled inside of the Wake Forest 41. And that's what Khalil Herbert can do to defenses.
Virginia Tech stretches the field there. They fake the jet sweep to the far side. They come back with a screen to Herbert near side. And even though that's a reception there on a screen pass, Herbert with excellent vision. He angled toward the sideline, then cut back to midfield. That play is all Khalil Herbert with not many blockers in front.
So that will be at the Wake Forest 40, but now a personal foul from Wake Forest will put the ball at the 25-yard line. Coach Clausen is not pleased by that whatsoever, and just like that, it was one play, a screen play to say the most, for 35 yards. You add the 15 to the personal foul. It looks like it will be against Carson.
Yeah, we're getting a chance to look at Coach Dave Clausen right now, who's done such a great job with his Wake Forest program, and he is irate after that call.
So now Virginia Tech, they start the drive on the 25, and now there's go on the Wake Forest 25. Fake handoff as the pass is delivered from Hooker to Robinson, who tries to reach out for more, loses the ball, and the ball will go out of bounds. So a disaster avoided right there for Virginia Tech, but Hooker making his first completion of the game to Tavion Robinson. Hooker now going to be in the shotgun. Virginia Tech working it quick as well. 2nd and 1 now on the 17. It's a handoff to Khalil Herbert, and he will be taken down for a 3-yard loss. Number 21 of Virginia Tech taking a couple of steps backwards now, and 3rd and 4 coming up for the Hokies.
That's excellent pressure from the linebacking core coming in on a blitz for Wake Forest. They handed it off to Herbert, and he ran right into the back of his tight end, Gallo. Just no separation there. That's a loss on the play, and Wake Forest a chance to maybe force a Virginia Tech field goal.
Williams was responsible for this tackle. He has 3 tackles for a loss this year. Virginia Tech now on the Wake Forest 19. Hendon Hooker in shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Hooker in the pocket. And here comes the pressure from Wake Forest, and down he goes. Hendon Hooker wrapped up from behind. It looks like Fox and Monroe are responsible for the sack, and that will bring up 4th down for Virginia Tech. So it looked like a promising drive after the Khalil Herbert screen, and that went for 35. You had the 15, but they weren't able to convert inside of the 25 of Wake.
Only 4 down linemen there, but Virginia Tech's offensive line responsible for that sack. Lasita Smith got beat. Hendon Hooker had no time to throw. Here comes Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson's kick will go wide left, and that will be his only 2nd missed field goal of the season. And for Virginia Tech, it is a pointless drive, and now Wake Forest will get the ball back in what seems to be pretty good field position. Based that they started the 8 last time and were able to score a touchdown, they'll move a little bit closer now towards their 30.
And what an opportunity for the Demon Deacons here, up 7-0. They did everything they wanted to on their first drive. If they can go up by multiple scores early in this first half and put pressure on Virginia Tech to throw the ball and limit the carries to Khalil Herbert, that's the recipe that they want to win this game.
A little flashback to Virginia Tech versus North Carolina. Tar Heels jumped out early on the Hokies up to a 14-0 lead, and Virginia Tech could not just get back into this game. and in that game. And if Wake Forest is able to do the same against the Hokies, and the Demon Deacons could look at themselves as a comfortable lead going forward. And Clausen was still giving an earful to the officials as the drive will start at the 25 for Sam Hartman. He takes the snap and he gives it off to Walker the third, and he will have some confusion behind the line of scrimmage, but go forward for about 3 or 4 yards, and that will bring up second down now at the 29.
That is what Wake Forest loves to do, though, on those RPOs. They like to wait and wait. Hartman will keep the ball in the gut of his running backs as long as he can before he makes a decision.
Hartman takes the snap from the 28 and gives it off to Walker the third again, and he goes down around the 30-yard line. So a quick 3rd and 5 coming up now for the Demon Deacons, who have gone with Walker the last 2 times.
And that's Rayshard Ashby in on both stops on 1st and 2nd down. Slow start to the season for someone who's a preseason All-ACC candidate. 3rd and 5 here. Virginia Tech would love to try and flip the momentum and force a 3 and out.
Well, Wake Forest is 2 of 2 on 3rd downs today. They got 3rd and 5 from the 30. Hartman in the shotgun takes a snap, and there comes the pressure. He couldn't get the wrap on him, and down goes Hartman. He goes down the backfield, looks to be 3 or 4 on top of Hartman. Reed and Hewitt will get responsibility for that sack. Hartman wants a face mask call. He's not going to get it, and that is a quick 3 and out in the Hokies' defensive stop after what looked to be a pretty poor drive defensively last time for them.
Yeah, the right tackle, Jeviante Nash, got beat by Justice Reed. The graduate transfer went right inside, was able to knock Hartman down for a second, and that allowed for the rest of the Virginia Tech defensive line to get there and bring down Hartman for the sack. That's a 3 and out. So we were just talking about how Wake Forest had a chance to go up multiple scores, and the Hokies defense comes out and forces a 3 and out. Momentum back to Virginia Tech.
And now Moore will get the punt as he belts it away from around his own 12. It carries a little bit as it's going down back, and it's going to hit around the 20-yard line. So not a bad punt for him right there. 55-yard punt for Ivan Mora, and Virginia Tech will start at their own 20 as Hendon Hooker coming back on the field. So, Evan, we talked about it. Last drive, they had a big-time play to put themselves in a good position, but they were unable to score any points in that drive. And now you're looking at it and they're saying, okay, we have a third opportunity now to score. And after what you saw from Wake Forest do in the first drive, you really want to get points on the board fast.
Story of this game so far: Wake Forest defense, ability to stop the run, and Carlos Basham has made an immediate impact on the D-line.
So the drive will start at Virginia Tech's 20 as Hooker's in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Herbert, going to fake the throw, and then he's wrapped up for the sack. The sack will come from Ja'Cory Johns. It's going to be his first sack of the game, and for Hooker, that's another devastating blow from behind the line of scrimmage.
This is a Virginia Tech offensive line that's been graded by Pro Football Focus as one of the best units in the country. Wake Forest, the defensive line, is beating Virginia Tech's offensive line right now. That's 2 sacks they've allowed in the quarter.
2nd and 11 now for Virginia Tech is at their own 19-yard line. Herbert to the left of Hooker. He's going to get the snap, and now he's running wide to the right side. He's well behind that line of scrimmage and cuts back in and gets it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 20, and it will bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Hokies.
And that was Deion Bergen Jr., another defensive lineman who was following Herbert all the way to the far side of the field, well off the line of scrimmage. Again, this Wake Forest defensive line continues to bring pressure. Nothing there going for Virginia Tech on that run.
So 3rd and 10 is going to be the longest 3rd down attempt to convert for Virginia Tech in this game. And the question is, where do you go to? And it's a 1 and 3 for Virginia Tech on 3rd down conversion so far in this game. The Hooker has 4 wide receivers out as he took it in shotgun. He's going to throw it down to the left side. Does he have him? And no, he doesn't. And it's intercepted by Wake Forest. Jasir Taylor gets the interception. The intended target was James Mitchell downfield to the left side around midfield, and it was picked off. And now Wake Forest getting that dream start on field position as they'll work around about midfield.
Yeah, trying to go one-on-one, maybe looking for James Mitchell there at the 50-yard line. And I don't know if there's miscommunication there, Andy, but that's not a well-thrown football from Hendon Hooker. One-on-one, he threw it right into the hands of Jasir Taylor, and Mitchell really didn't have a play on the ball. Hooker, who has yet to throw an interception this season until that moment, that was not a good decision from Hooker, and Wake Forest has terrific field position here at midfield.
Well, Jasir Taylor, he played all 13 games last season for Wake Forest, and he comes up with a big-time interception. It will go to review as you're going to watch the replay here as he goes up with it. He doesn't come down with full possession. As he rolls over, he might have had the ground to help him out. This one looks like it can come back here, Evan, as it looks as if when he rolled over, he didn't have that possession and may have used the turf to help him.
First of all, incredible effort from Taylor because he picks the ball up with one hand. Mitchell's lucky that he's not flagged for offensive pass interference, hanging onto the right arm of Taylor. But as he goes to the ground, he's never able to get that right arm back to secure the football. The ball does hit the turf. It does look like that it did move, and it did aid him in the process of catching the football. Would not be surprised if this comes back as an incomplete pass.
Yeah, this doesn't look to be that long of a review as well, but for Wake Forest now, they made the stop on 3rd down, 4th and 10 coming up, so you can expect Bradburn to come out and punt this one away. And for both offenses now, it looks like there's been a little bit of difficulty as the call was confirmed. So the interception will stand for Wake Forest.
Now, just because there's movement, however, does not mean that it's going to be overturned. The ball can move. It just cannot help aid the defender in possessing the football. So, has to be indisputable evidence.
I guess they actually called it incomplete on the play. We did not know that. We thought it was going to be an interception. It was the original call, but instead Bradburn will punt from around his own 10, and it'll be caught by Taylor Morin around the 40, who made the fair catch. So for Wake Forest now, you kind of were that close to that interception, but now you have the opportunity to give into this dynamic duo in the backfield.
Well, still Wake Forest is going to have incredible field position right around the 40-yard line. It's been a quiet day for Kenneth Walker the second early, but really only one drive for Wake Forest. That was a 90-plus yard touchdown drive and then a quick 3 and out. Look for Walker the second to get involved on this drive for the Demon Deacons.
So this drive will start at the 40-yard line of Wake Forest. So not that awful of field position as Hartman will hand it off to Beal Smith, who waited patiently in the backfield but cuts to the right and goes forward for about 3 yards, bringing up 2nd and 7 at the Wake Forest 43.
And one of the big losses in this game for Virginia Tech, defensive end Emmanuel Belmar, unavailable the rest of the game with a head injury according to Virginia Tech's radio broadcast. Significant loss for the Hokies D-line.
Hartman will pitch it back to Beal Smith in the backfield, and he has wide open field ahead of him. He cuts back inside, and he rolls over and dives forward to the first down and well more for Beal Smith. He's at the 32-yard line now of Virginia Tech. Another big run by number 26.
I love Wake Forest there. They're trying the RPOs. Virginia Tech's defense doing a nice job of stopping it. So what do? Just a quick pitch to the outside. Another excellent run for Christian Beal Smith.
He works the Wake Forest offense out to the 31-yard line of Virginia Tech. Hartman's in the shotgun now as he has Walker the third now in. He's going to cut to the right side and carry a little bit of the Virginia Tech defense with him for about a 5-yard game. 2nd down coming up now for the Demon Deacons. And we mentioned it earlier. It wasn't really focused on the running game for Wake Forest, but that's where they've gotten their success from. So now 2nd and 5 as Wake Forest is on the 26 of Virginia Tech. Hartman takes a snap and shotgun. He hands it off back to Walker, who runs the far way around to the right side, and he will step out of bounds. It's close to the marker. It might be enough for a Virginia Tech first down. We're going to wait on the ruling for that one right there, as it might just be short of that first down marker. We don't know where he originally stepped out at. It will bring up 3rd and 2. So it was close to that first down marker, but apparently his right foot stepped out of bounds, bringing up another 3rd down opportunity for Wake Forest to convert on. They're 2 of 3 in this game so far as we're at the 2:30 mark in this first quarter.
And Wake Forest has run the ball really well. You really haven't had to put the ball in Hartman's hands to throw because they've been running so well.
Hartman in shotgun looking to the right side of the field. It's thrown behind him. The intended target on the play was Donovan Green, one of his more reliable targets. He's a deep threat guy. And Dave Clausen is talking to the officials. He wants a defensive pass interference on that one right there. But for Virginia Tech, they make the big stop on 3rd and 2. Let's watch it again as the defender on him was Amarni Chapman, who's going to get the start without Jermaine Waller in today's lineup. So now it brings up 4th and 2, and Wake Forest has an opportunity now to extend their lead to double digits here with Skiba. A 41-yard attempt for number 4. As the snap is away and it's kicked up and it will be good. So Skiba makes it a 10-0 game, and Wake Forest has extended their lead over the Hokies. And right now, in the first 13 minutes of this game, it has been all Demon Deacons. With 2:11 to go in the first quarter down in Winston-Salem, it is Wake Forest 10, Virginia Tech 0. You're listening to The Call here on 3304 Sports. I'm Andy Loce, joined alongside with Evan Hughes. Welcome back here to Truist Field, where Wake Forest has just extended their lead over the number 19th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies, making it 10-0. And Evan, this is not the start we were kind of expecting from Virginia Tech. As we saw last week, they got a big lead over Boston College, and they're able to break away from it. We haven't seen that yet for this Hokie squad.
The story of this game right now, Wake Forest offense, we expected them to play well, a team averaging over 40 points per game, but it's the defense right now of Wake Forest in the defensive line, headlined by Carlos Basham, Suleiman Kamara up front. This has been a really stout defensive line for Wake Forest that has struggled stopping the run coming into today. A huge reason why the Hokies haven't scored yet, it's the defensive line.
For Herbert, he only has 4 rushes for 10 yards. But his biggest play of the game was that 1 reception for 35. So maybe getting him more involved going into this game is going to be a big difference in Virginia Tech. Hooker, 2 of 4 so far. Hartman, 3 of 4. He has a rushing touchdown. But Christian Beal-Smith already has 91 rushing yards for the Demon Deacons in only the first quarter. Here comes the kickoff from Crane as he will avoid Khalil Herbert yet again, as the touchback will go out of the back of the end zone. So now Virginia Tech, is it too early to start hitting that panic button on what they've been able to do offensively, or is this really the drive where you see them kind of break free?
No, not at all. I don't think there's any panic here. Hendon Hooker, a returning starter, knows this offense really well. I don't think you stop your game plan right now of what you intended to do. It's still early. It's in the first quarter, only a 10-point game. Still expect to see Khalil Herbert get a healthy dosage of the football here in the backfield.
So pretty tight bunch here at the line of scrimmage as Hooker's in the backfield as the drive will start on the Virginia Tech 25. He takes a snap and he will fake the handoff to Khalil Herbert, and he will roll out to the left side. And the best run we've seen from Hooker in this game will be just short of that first down marker, bringing up 2nd and short, and that's where Hooker is best.
Well, that's a great read there from Hendon Hooker as the defense sold out on Khalil Herbert getting that football. He kept it angled near side, a gain of 9 yards. That's what makes this Virginia Tech offense so good when Hendon Hooker gets involved in the running game.
You can just see what the Wake Forest rushing defense is. When Khalil Herbert has a chance of even getting that ball, they're going to follow him. Now Raheem Blackshear in motion as Hooker taking the shotgun. Herbert getting that stiff arm on number 22 of Wake Forest. He breaks free of him and gets the first down for Virginia Tech, a 2-yard run, so it will be just enough to move the chains.
That's all strength from Khalil Herbert on that stiff arm as A.J. Williams met him right in the backfield. If he was able to arm tackle him, it's a loss of 2 yards. Instead, Herbert, a stiff arm, able to bounce off him, pick up the first down.
So a first down conversion here for Virginia Tech as Khalil Herbert now with 5 rushes for 10 yards on the game. As the ball will be placed at the Virginia Tech 36, that's where Hooker's in shotgun. He will pitch it off back to Khalil Herbert, who has a little trouble of getting the carry, but then he will get about 5 yards on the play. So behind the line of scrimmage, it wasn't the easiest of pitches, but the cutback inside was just enough to get a good gain out of it.
Now you see offensive coordinator Brad Cornelson really trying to get the running game going in different ways. Jet sweeps, inside runs there, a pitch to the outside, trying to get Herbert and Blackshear a lot of touches in this first quarter.
We're into the seconds here as Hooker will take the snap. He throws off the left side. He did that his last play. This time, does he have Robinson? And it looks to be a completed catch there by Tavion Robinson, who got 1 foot in bounds. There was a penalty on the play, which was for my cause of, just shock right there, not knowing what was happening on that play. But the pass interference will be on Wake Forest. I could see Virginia Tech decline that one, as the ball will be now at the Wake Forest 45. We saw Hooker do this the last drive to Mitchell. It didn't work out so well. This time to Robinson, he gets the foot down and makes the catch.
Well, it works out for Virginia Tech because Tavion Robinson got inside space on Jasir Taylor, the corner. I actually don't know if that's a catch. However, the pass interference is going to give Virginia Tech the automatic first down. Hendon Hooker loves that one-on-one jump ball, especially to James Mitchell. There we see him go to Tavion Robinson. It pays off.
The 45-yard line is where Virginia Tech is now, and Hooker going to keep it himself, runs up the middle and gets a first down, and he is just one broken tackle away from going to the house, and a good wrap up there from the Wake Forest defender, Jasur Taylor. And this is the Virginia Tech drive we've been waiting for in this matchup, as a great handoff there from Hooker. Fake handoff, actually, and he keeps it himself and gets 15 yards.
Hooker says, if you're going to key in on Herbert or Blackshear, I'll take it myself. Big run for Hendon Hooker, and this is where Virginia Tech is really dangerous offensively when the defense is guessing.
Let's see if the Hokies run another play here before the first quarter comes to an end, and they will not. So the first quarter will end with Wake Forest on top of Virginia Tech. 10-0 here, and Winston-Salem, it's been a great first quarter for Wake Forest, but Virginia Tech is on the urge of getting their first touchdown of the game. You're listening to 3304 Sports of ACC College Football. Welcome back here to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where the Demon Deacons lead the Hokies 10-0 here in this ACC matchup here on 3304 Sports. I'm Andy Loce, joined alongside with Evan Hughes, and in this first quarter, we saw this Wake Forest team break out to a big lead as a play is played to get the quarter going. It's going to be a handoff to Raheem Blackshear on first down and 10 to give them a 3-yard carry to out down to Wake Forest 27. 2nd and 7 now coming up here as we just got the second quarter underway at 14:40. Where Wake Forest up 10-0 over Virginia Tech. Hooker takes a snap in the shotgun position and hands off to Blackshear again, who spins around for about a 3-yard pickup. This will bring up 3rd and short now on the the Wake Forest 23, where Virginia Tech is looking to score.
Ja'Cory Johns in on the stop. This defensive line of Wake Forest not letting Khalil Herbert get to the second level. Been very impressed with Dave Clawson's defense early.
3rd and 3. Hooker in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. As he looks to talk to the sideline a bit and get some communication on what to run, Herbert will motion from the right side to the left side of Hooker. There's now a breakout there for Gallo, who's going to block now for James Mitchell, who catches the ball behind the line of the scrimmage and runs forward for a first down. So James Mitchell's first catch of the game will go out for 7 yards and move the chain for Virginia Tech. And for the first time in today's game, the Hokies are in the red zone.
Love the play call there from Brad Cornelson. You motion Gallo, you think maybe he's going to be the one who catches it on a screen while he's in motion, but no, he goes out and blocks at the line of scrimmage. They hit James Mitchell, the big versatile tight end, first down Tech.
So first down and 10, the drive will start at this chain will start at the 16 of Wake Forest. Hooker in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the left. He's going to hand it off to Khalil Herbert, who runs up the middle and gets about 4 or 5 yards on the play there, working his way close to that end zone. He'll be placed around the 11-yard line. So now 2nd and 6 coming up for Virginia Tech. Hokies working it quick here as Hooker takes a snap and shotgun again, hands it off to Herbert once again, and he works his way out to the left side and gets the first down. What a run there from Khalil Herbert, who started inside and kept breaking out to the left and stepped out of bounds. And now 12:58 to go here in the second quarter, and Virginia Tech having their first and goal today.
That's all Khalil Herbert there. Not a lot of great blocking, even better vision, weaving around the line of scrimmage, eventually finding daylight to the far sideline. Excellent run, 1st and goal Hokies.
They're at the 4-yard line now looking to strike. Here comes Blackshear in motion off to the right side of Hendon Hooker. Hooker takes a snap and shotgun. He hands off to Blackshear, and he has nowhere to go with it and takes about a 7-yard loss on the play. Wake Forest defense saw that one coming from a mile away, and now 2nd and goal for the Hokies will come at the Wake Forest 11.
Rondell Bothroyd, the defensive lineman on the outside, getting excellent pressure off of James Mitchell, and Blackshear continued to work behind the line of scrimmage before it's a big loss on the play. Once again, the pressure from this Wake Forest defensive line, the story of this game. It's why Virginia Tech has not scored a point.
So Hooker will now be in shotgun from the Wake Forest 11. He's got 2 wide receivers to the right. He's got Khalil Herbert staying next to his right as he's in the shotgun position. Hooker will take the snap. He will fake the handoff to Herbert. He's going to fire to the end zone, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage, but a flag comes in. It looks to be a holding on the defense. It will come on number 29, Kalen Carson, the cornerback, and Dave Clawson going to be talking to that sideline saying the ball was tipped, so the penalty will be picked up. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal now for Virginia Tech.
I probably sound like a broken record at this point, but once again, for Wake Forest, that's the defensive line coming up with the tip there that prevents an automatic first down there on the hold from Carson. Big-time play from the Demon Deacons defense.
A.J. Williams was the one who broke up the pass. So now 3rd and goal from 11 yards out Virginia Tech looking to get on the board on this drive. It's Hooker going to be in the shotgun position. Virginia Tech 2 of 5 on conversions today from a third down. They got 2 wide receivers to the right side. They got James Mitchell in motion. Hooker takes a snap in the shotgun. He's looking to throw it. He's going to fire down the middle of the field, and it will be denied by Carson. He was trying to go back to Robinson, which he did on second down. Carson, who had a penalty picked up from last time, makes a big-time defensive stop, and now 4th and goal coming up for Virginia Tech, and they look to get on the board now with Brian Johnson kicking the field goal.
And Johnson 0 for 1 today. This is a chip shot. However, Virginia Tech going with the same play call from 2nd and goal where Carson got beat and the penalty flag was picked up after the deflection. That's just a simple slant route inside. Carson, great positioning. No chance for Robinson there in the back of the end zone.
So Johnson has a 28-yard attempt now for Virginia Tech, and that one will be good. So the Hokies on the scoreboard here in the second quarter. It makes it now 10-3. Wake Forest still on top of the number 19 ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. We're going to go to break here on 3304 Sports. You're listening to ACC College Football. Welcome back here to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where the Wake Forest Demon Deacons lead the Virginia Tech Hokies 10-3. And for Virginia Tech coming to this game, 19th ranked in the country. This is very funny, actually. This is something I thought about before this game today. Last year when the two teams faced off in Lane Stadium, Wake Forest was number 19 in the nation on road against the unranked Virginia Tech Hokies, and Virginia Tech pulled off the win. Right now, Wake Forest is trending in that direction to pull off the upset on Virginia Tech.
You know, that was Bud Foster Day in Lane Stadium last year where they honored the legendary defensive coordinator and having kind of his moment to say goodbye to the fans for a day dedicated to him. That was one of the best wins of the season last year for Virginia Tech. Story of this game, Wake Forest second to last in the ACC in defending the run. Today, they have held the Hokies to just 56 yards on the ground. It's been about the Wake Forest defense today. That's been the story, not necessarily the offense.
That's definitely the case here. And this is the first time, believe it or not, we're going to see John Parker Romo come out and kick it off here to get this Wake Forest drive going for the Demon Deacons. They scored a touchdown their first drive, Evan, but they had a field goal later on in the quarter. But besides that first drive, they really haven't gotten the passing game going. Christian Beal-Smith has been the guy to talk about, as John Parker Romo will just kick this one into the back of the end zone, bringing out a touchback. So Wake Forest now, they got that great first drive, but it hasn't been the same throughout the rest of the game. How do you think they would get and extend their lead into here on this drive?
They're going to feed Christian Beal-Smith. 5 carries, 91 yards so far today with a long of 58 yards. They converted twice on third down on that 90-plus yard drive, and then Sam Hartman tucking it and running it in for a touchdown. Virginia Tech defensively, though, the linebacking core highlighted by Rayshard Ashby has done a nice job of slowing down the run-pass option of Wake Forest, but the Demon Deacons still running the ball well off of pitches and misdirections.
Hartman will take the snap from the 25-yard line, the shotgun, and there goes Rayshard Ashby, who wraps him up by the feet and takes him down for a 10-yard loss. The captain makes the big-time play we mentioned earlier, preseason All-ACC, and he makes the big sack there on the first play of the drive.
Ashby has been struggling early in this season. The scheme change from Bud Foster to Justin Hamilton, and Ashby just goes right up the middle, ankle wraps for the sack.
2nd and 20 now is Hartman in the shotgun. He's going to fire down the middle of the field, and it's dropped by the Wake Forest receiver. I believe the target on the play came to number 23. That's Brandon Chapman, the tight end for Wake Forest. He's on the 2020 Mackey Award watch list, but that time he's not able to make his first catch on his first target. So 3rd and 20 now. Wake Forest has a long way to go. They have to get to the 35 as they stand at their own 15 here on 3rd and 20. Hartman is in the shotgun position now as he's about 3 wide receivers out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Hartman takes a snap. He's going to feel the pressure as only 3 are sent, but he just gets a pass away before he's knocked down by the defensive lineman of Virginia Tech. But it's a pitch to Beal-Smith, who runs out for about 15 yards, and it will bring up 4th and short. Man, great play there for Hartman just to get that pass away before the presence of what I believe is Dax Hollyfield comes in and lays it out. No, it's going to be Gerard Hewitt on that one, but it brings up 4th and manageable now, as it looks like they might keep their offense out there on the field for this one.
And the offense still out there, as well as Christian Beal-Smith. Would be a gutsy call for Dave Clawson ahead 10-3. This deep in your own territory. Now they'll bring out the punt unit.
They considered it for sure, as it was a good 14-yard pickup there from Christian Beal-Smith on the dump down pass. But now the punting team will come out. It'll be Moore. He'll punt it around his own 18. This one will go high into the air. as it'll be a fair catch by Tavion Robinson, who stands at his own 30. And for Virginia Tech Hokies defense, another 3 and out. They're starting to get comfortable against this Wake Forest offense, and they did it with a big sack right there. It seems when they put the pressure on Hartman, they've been able to really make some big-time stops.
They really have, and this defense, again, has missed so many key contributors, especially in the secondary due to COVID-19 and contact tracing early. Now you're seeing this Hokie defense at full strength, and like you said, when they bring pressure, this has been a different Wake Forest offense.
So this drive will start at their own 30 for Virginia Tech, where Hooker's in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Khalil Herbert. He's going to look downfield, and he's going to keep it himself as he runs up the middle, breaks a tackle, and gets a first down as he dives down around the 46-yard line of Wake Forest. That'll be around the 41-yard line. But another first down. It's the 9th of the game for Virginia Tech.
And Hooker doing a nice job there. I'm just kind of feeling the pocket collapse. He stepped up, made a man miss, and able to pick up 11 yards there.
Yeah, the rush defense has put a lot of pressure on the running backs, but also on Hendon Hooker as well in this game. So he will be in shotgun now at their own 42-yard line as he's going to hand it off to Blackshear. A lot of confusion there between Hooker and Blackshear, but he stays on his feet and gets the first down. He broke a tackle and works it out into opponent's territory. Man, you hardly see that from quarterbacks, that they kind of like what just happened when the handoff is made. But for Blackshear, he breaks those tackles off with his hand and does a little bit of a high step and works it out into Wake Forest territory.
You could tell Hendon Hooker was confused there. It looked like they were going to fake the jet sweep and then hand off to Herbert, who was to the left of Hooker in the gun. But Blackshear just took the football. He said, "Give it to me," and he picks up the first down.
Virginia Tech will not be mad about that whatsoever, as they are now on the 44 of Wake Forest. A low snap to Hooker, but he makes the throw, and the catch is made by James Mitchell. It will be a 5-yard pickup, and will be now 2nd down and 5 for Virginia Tech. They're now at the Wake Forest 38. They're really into a motion now, as we saw last drive. In this one, it began their team going. It's going to be a fake handoff to Khalil Herbert, who finds the wide open James Mitchell. He's got open field ahead of him, and it's touchdown Virginia Tech. James Mitchell gets the first one of the game for the Hokies, his 2nd on the year, and this is a big one as we're about to be knotted up here in Winston-Salem.
That play is all about Khalil Herbert and the attention that he is given by this Wake Forest defense. They fake the jet sweep. Wake Forest's run defense bites on it. It leaves the middle of the field wide open for Hendon Hooker on that option to keep it, throw over the middle. Touchdown Virginia Tech. Brian Johnson, the extra point, tied at 10. That's the answer Virginia Tech desperately needed on offense.
You hardly see a tight end that wide open down the field, but James Mitchell is like that. You can see the open field, a perfect pass, a perfect catch, and a perfect run. We're all knotted up here in Winston-Salem, 10-10, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest. Welcome back here to Winston-Salem, as the Virginia Tech Hokies have just knotted up at 10 apiece. Wake Forest ended that quarter with a 10-0 lead, but the second quarter has been all Virginia Tech. We talked about how James Mitchell has been the leading guy so far. 3 catches for 51 yards, and on top of that, a 39-yard touchdown for the junior.
Yeah, he was wide open on that play. It was an excellent decision from Hendon Hooker. He could have handed the ball off to Khalil Herbert, who started to the right of him in the gun. And he just pulls it out of his stomach, and Mitchell is just wide open over the middle of the field. The entire linebacking core, Jaquez Williams, Ryan Smenda Jr., and Travion Red all bit on the run, leaving the middle of the field wide open. It's a great decision. It all starts with Hendon Hooker, almost the point guard there, facilitating for Virginia Tech on offense.
Well, the focus and momentum has shifted from the black and the gold to now the maroon and orange, as John Parker Romo will get prepared to kick this one off, as we haven't actually seen a kick return yet. And I think what was crazy about both of these teams are they're the best at returning kicks and punts in all the ACC. Wake Forest is the only team to have a kick return touchdown all year, but John Parker Romo's kick will go out of the back of the end zone, resulting in a touchback, which will start the drive at the 25-yard line for Wake Forest. We have 8:40 to go here on 3304 Sports in the second quarter. Virginia Tech 10, Wake Forest 10. Virginia Tech coming this matchup as the 19th ranked team in the nation. They're sitting at 3-1 record. Wake Forest 2-2. So now we got the matchup going here. Now we got to see some offense between both teams. Of course, it's not the 40 points that we've seen in between each other, but a 10-10 matchup now. We've seen the arm, we've seen the speed of Hartman and Hooker. We saw Hooker throw the ball right there for the end zone. So a great kind of offensive battle going on between both teams, as this drive will start with a fake handoff to Hartman, who will keep it himself and dive forward for about 4 yards.
So Hartman only 4 of 6 through the air, 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. We have not seen him that much, been asked to do much through the air. Beal Smith, 91 yards on the ground, not much from Walker, just 4 carries. His Wake Forest offense hasn't been the same since the first drive.
Hartman takes a shotgun snap from the 30. He's going to fake the handoff and keep it himself again, and spins over for about a 2-yard gain. This will bring up 3rd and 3 now for the Demon Deacons, and they find themselves with another 3rd down conversion here opportunity. So with 8 minutes to go, we're talking about how Wake Forest hasn't had a 3rd down conversion, hasn't had a great drive since that first one, and now can they extend this one here? Hartman takes a snap and shotgun, fires on the right side of the field. He's got his man, Ja'Cory Roberson, who almost broke free from the tackle of Connor, but goes out of bounds, and it'll be a 1st down for the Demon Deacons.
That's a great throw from Sam Hartman. With pressure coming, he throws to the far side of the field. Tight window to Roberson. They need to get Ja'Cory Roberson going here before halftime.
So Sam Hartman will take the snap now at the Wake Forest 43. He's going to keep it himself, and there he goes. He is put down at the line of scrimmage by Alan Tisdale. And for Alan Tisdale, he has recorded 7 tackles and at least 7 tackles in every game of his last 3 appearances for the Hokies. The backup to Dax Hollyfield has been a pivotal role so far for Virginia Tech this year. 2nd and 10 now as Hartman takes a snap and shotgun, looks to check it down. He does that so to Walker the 3rd, and he will really barrel roll his way forward for about 4 yards. 3rd and 6 coming up with about 7 to play here in the second quarter.
Virginia Tech has stopped the RPO of Wake Forest, which you can tell has affected the way they've called plays on offense. Virginia Tech's defense swarming right now to the football.
Sam Hartman will be in shotgun again as he'll take the snap from the Wake Forest 47. Hartman looking to the left side. He rolls out to the right. Does he have a man? He's got it. Morin. Oh, excuse me. That is not Morin. It was actually Nolan Gruel, as it'll be marked just 1 yard short. It looked like he could have turned around and gotten that 1st down, but he slid out of bounds and was just short of it. So Wake Forest moves now into opponent territory, and now 4th and 1 coming up here. If you're Coach Dave Clawson, Evan, do you got to go for it here?
I think the way Hartman has thrown the ball on this drive and the way Beal Smith has run the football, you're talking about 1 yard at midfield. The Hokies have momentum. You don't want to give them the football back. I think you go for it here.
So it looks like the marking will be around the 48-yard line. They got to get to the 47. The Wake Forest offense is out there. They're going to take the snap, and they're going to hand it to Walker, who has a wide open space to the right side, and it's a 1st down for Wake Forest. A gutsy call there to give it to your running back on the 4th and short, but he was able to get to the outside where Devin Taylor pushes him out of bounds, and now Wake Forest now at the Virginia Tech 37, building up a great drive here to get a response to the Virginia Tech touchdown from the last drive.
And you credit Wake Forest offensive line there, doing a great job of containing everybody in the box for Virginia Tech.
Hartman takes it in the shotgun as he gives it off to Walker, who cuts in and out a bit to get about 7 yards on the play, works it down now to the Wake Forest 30. So we saw Beal Smith a lot more in the beginning of this game. Walker the 3rd getting a little bit of expanded role here in this second quarter as we have 5:19 to go. Wake Forest having a great drive so far in what seems to be their first really true drive of this second quarter. Hartman in shotgun as Wake Forest is on the 30-yard line. They hand off to Walker the 3rd again, but this time he isn't going anywhere as the wrap-in from Chapman brings him down for only a 1-yard gain. It will go out to the Virginia Tech 29, and with 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter, Virginia Tech is going to have to make a defensive stop here with Wake Forest trying to convert on another 3rd down. It's 3rd and 2 now, and really Wake Forest has got all gears in motion right now as they try to get their lead back in this matchup. Hartman in the shotgun. He takes the snap. It's going to be a fake screen play as he's looking more downfield to the right side. It's overthrown to his receiver, Donovan Green, just a bit too high for Green as Hartman tried to deliver it down that right sideline. And now another 4th down. And Evan, this is an area where you can go for the field goal, but do you go for it here, or are you just like keep pushing against these Hokies? Actually on the play, Donovan Green, who went up to try to catch it, has come down pretty hard. He is in pain right now, as it looks to appear that maybe he landed kind of funny on that one. He tried to reach out and try to jump up for it, but we're going to take a break while medical attention is sought to Donovan Green. 10-10 between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons here on 3304 Sports. Welcome back here to Winston-Salem as Donovan Green is now staying on the sideline for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. It looked like he had a scary fall, but it looks like everything's A-okay right now for the wideout for Wake Forest. But now the question brings up 4th and 2. Wake Forest is going to go for it here at the 29 of Virginia Tech. They had to get to the 27 as Hartman is in shotgun. 3 wide receiver options here. 15 seconds on the play clock. Hartman takes a snap. He's going to stay in the pocket, looks and fires down the middle field. He's got Jacory Roberson for the first down, and another big catch for Roberson on this drive.
That's just a slant, and then Roberson sits at midfield and waits for the pass. Virginia Tech brought a corner blitz on the far side of the field. Barno got beat, a linebacker against a speedy receiver in Roberson. 2 fourth-down conversions on this drive for Wake.
So Wake Forest 1st and 10 now at the Virginia Tech 22. It's going to be a pitch play to Walker, who tries to hurdle the defender of Jamari Connor, and Connor's not having any of that, as there'll be a loss of 2 on the play and brings up 2nd and 12 for the Demon Deacons.
Speed option, but Virginia Tech all over it. Connor wearing the 25 in honor of former coach Frank Beamer, and an ankle tackle there on a near hurdle.
With 3:52 to go here in the second quarter, it's 2nd and 12 now for Hartman. It's in shotgun. A ton of wide receiver options here as well. You got three wide receivers, 1 tight end. He's got Walker the third to his right, and 2nd and 12. And this clock keeps on going now, but Wake Forest looking to score. It'll be a handoff to Walker the third. He goes inside and gets a good pickup there. He gets about 6 or 7 yards on the play. He'll bring up 3rd and 6 now for the Demon Deacons. And with 3:30 to go, another 3rd down conversion coming up for Wake Forest.
You know, the Wake Forest has a chance here to cash in, make this 2 for 1. They get the ball to start the second half. You've got 3:17 to go in this half, a chance to maybe grab 2 quick scores.
3rd and 5 now for Wake Forest as they're at the Virginia Tech 17. They got to get to the 12 to move the chains. 3:06 to go. Hartman takes a snap. He looks to the right side. He goes down the middle of the field again. Jacory Roberson makes the catch, but this time he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down, and they've gone for 4th down twice in this drive, and now they're really close to getting a field goal opportunity and a touchdown now. I wonder if Dave Clawson's going to do the same thing.
I think he might let this clock run all the way down and call a timeout. Nick Skiba is nearly automatic for Wake Forest, their kicker. It's, again, you go back and you think, you get the ball to start the second half, you try and get points to end the first half and to begin the second half, but the offense is clicking right now. So decision time for Dave Clawson. It looks like they're going to go for this.
They're going to go with it as Kenneth Walker III is under center pretty much in the shotgun position. He's got Buell Smith to his left. Walker's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to go up the middle of the field. He dances around by that first down line, and he's going to get it. So a first down for Wake Forest as a late penalty comes on in as a Wake Forest helmet comes off of Walker the third, but Walker was kind of dancing around that first down marker, and then he just jumped over the middle a bit, got about 2 or 3 yards on that carry, and now we will address that penalty that came late into it. I don't think it's going to be on the play itself. Might be some little extracurricular afterwards.
That looks like Ronnie Brown and the 2008 Miami Dolphins under the great late Tony Sperano, the head coach. Just the Wildcat formation there. Jumbo set, running back takes the snap, runs right behind the right tackle, Javiante Nash. And a flag came in afterwards. Don't know if because the helmet came off, Virginia Tech defensively continued to try and tackle him if there's a flag, but it looks like this is on Wake Forest.
Well, it's going to be 1st and goal now for the Demon Deacons. Don't know where the spot of it is just yet, as we were 2 minutes ago in this second quarter. If we put down to 5, it looks like it was a penalty face mask on Hewitt for taking the face mask off of Walker the third, and a lot of confusion there for Wake Forest as you saw a lineman kind of jump out, and here comes the flag on the play.
Actually, the left guard there, Sean Magin, actually moved before the ball was snapped, and he's looking around just waiting for the flag to be thrown on him. A little bit of a chuckle there from Sam Hartman, the quarterback, who's lined up as a receiver. Just daps up Dorian Strong, and everybody chuckles about that one there.
It's always when the lineman moves before the ball is snapped. It's, it's just like, oh, I thought we were going with it, but that time, this confusion. I mean, Hartman was already in the wide receiver position down low, so it was a clever design call. You're not going to get to see the play, though, as now it's 1st and goal at the 10-yard line for Wake Forest. Hartman's going to be in the pocket. He's going to run up the middle with it and take a big hit from Devon Diablo, who stood him up at the 6-yard line. So 2nd and goal coming up now, and that secondary piece that's been missing for the Virginia Tech Hokies in 2 of their 4 games this year makes a good stop in the middle of the field.
That's a hard hit from Devon Diablo, who's almost the heartbeat of that secondary for the Hokies. And there, Diablo and Rayshard Ashby were a spy there on Hartman. They were standing at the 5-yard line just waiting for him to tuck it and run, which he did. So basically back to the original line of scrimmage before the false start.
Well, we're going to take a break here as Virginia Tech gets their second timeout of the first half. It's going to be 10-10 between the Virginia Tech Hokies and Wake Forest. Welcome back here to Winston-Salem at North Carolina, where for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons are going to have a second and goal opportunity coming up. And in a drive where Wake Forest has converted on 3 fourth downs, Evan, it's really been a great drive, and really much they're trying to get a score here before half.
Yeah, it would feel like a letdown with the 3 fourth down conversions. A touchdown is the expectation at this point. Anything less would be a disappointment. But Wake Forest has done such a nice job on this drive of taking time off the clock and putting Tech in a tough spot to where there's not much time left in the second half, and then Wake gets the ball to start the second half. That's why coaches love to defer to the second half. And, Divine Diablo, you go back to the play before the timeout, big hit on the quarterback, Sam Hartman, and Dave Clawson pleading his case that there potentially could be targeting as the crown of the helmet went right towards Hartman, but it does look like Diablo staying on the field. The officials did not review it. That's a big break for Virginia Tech secondary.
That's huge, and it's also huge for Wake Forest that Sam Hartman's able to get back up and play football once again. So here comes Sam Hartman. Right now it's a decoy over to the left side, pretty much in that receiver position. What a drive is going on here for Wake Forest. Over 7 minutes now, over 1:39 to go here in this first half. Walker the third will take the snap under center in the shotgun position, and he breaks through the middle. He tries to fight off his defenders, pushing the pile. He's got all of them, and he scores for the touchdown. What a run by Kenneth Walker the third. He just carried 3 or 4 Hokies into the end zone. That's a man's run right there, Evan, and Wake Forest now up 16-10 over the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Kenneth Walker the third says, "I want it more than you." They just fakes the jet sweep on the Wildcat, runs to about the 4-yard line, and that's where he was met initially by what looked to be Dorian Strong, but he spun off of him and then got a little help from his friends. The offensive line pushed him in. What a drive for Wake Forest.
That's the example right there of what it means to hit that weight room and get strong, as now it's the extra point is up, and it's good there by Ski Buzz. So Wake Forest, what a drive right there. 75 yards, 11 rush plays, 6 passing plays, over 7 minutes, and they get the lead back over the Hokies. Just look at that play once again at the 4-yard line. There's easily 3 or 4 Hokies that are with him, and he just does a great job of just staying on his feet and pushing the pile and getting into the end zone. So a successful drive there for Wake Forest. We mentioned it, 3 fourth down conversions on that drive. That is a textbook drive right there for Virginia Tech and for Wake Forest.
Oh, I mean, it really was a terrific drive for the Demon Deacons. How about Dave Clawson 3 times going for it on 4th down and coming away with 6 points. Big drive for the Demon Deacons.
So now it's 17-10 now between Wake Forest and Virginia Tech. We have 1:31 to go here in Winston-Salem, as Virginia Tech is going to have an opportunity now to get a touchdown in this game. With 1:31 left, they only have 1 timeout, but they have the opportunity of working themselves downfield. And we saw in that previous drive where they scored a touchdown, Evan, they did it pretty quickly. So 91 seconds isn't going to be too less of a time for them not to get anything out of it.
Only have 1 timeout, though, with 90 seconds to play.
So now it's going to be, once again, the kicker for Wake Forest. It's going to be Crane, who's going to kick that one off and actually return for once in this game, as Jalen Holson, who's in the backfield, will carry that one out to around the 30. That was actually Khalil Herbert. Holson was in the backfield. Khalil Herbert catches it and runs about 23 yards to the Virginia Tech 30. So they waste 5 seconds, but they get 5 more yards out of what would have been for a touchback. So they got to go 70 yards to the end zone now. Hendon Hooker is going to work his 2-minute drill magic now, as they're going to try to tie this one up here going into the break.
And Brian Johnson's career-long 54 yards, already missed one today, but he certainly has the strength to make it from 50-plus.
So this drive will start at the 30, where 3 wide receivers off to the left for Hendon Hooker, who is in the shotgun position. He's going to take the snap, looking over to that left side. He's going to keep it himself and runs to the right. Cuts back inside. He's got the first down, 2 spin moves, and is brought down at the 44. And now the Virginia Tech Hokies have to work that ball quickly. The clock does stop, though, for first downs until the ball is played. So 1:16 to go in the second quarter.
44 yards on the ground for Hendon Hooker. He's the team's leading rusher.
Hooker and shotgun again. 4 wide receivers this time for Virginia Tech. He takes a snap, looks to the left side, and he got Trey Turner down the middle of the field into opponent's territory. Another first down for Virginia Tech and 2 quick pickups. He got 13 in the first half, Evan, for Virginia Tech, and they are going to keep that no-huddle mentality. We're a minute left in this game at the 42-yard line. Hendon Hooker goes to the left side again, and he's got Trey Turner again as he goes down around the 26. So 3 plays, 3 first down for Virginia Tech, and they're not taking their foot off the gas just yet.
And we're really seeing this no-huddle offense right now. Trey Turner, no receptions on this drive, makes back-to-back receptions.
So now the ball is at the 26. So Hendon Hooker's in shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Looks to the left. He's going to find Nick Gallo, who's going to just step out of bounds. Smart play there from the tight end. With 41 seconds to go, it's going to be second down, and the ball will be at the Wake Forest 23. So no question about getting into field goal territory now. They're in there. They're looking to get 7.
And no question about it. If Virginia Tech could tie this game at the half with Wake getting the football, given the circumstances with 90 seconds left to begin this drive and 1 timeout, would be very impressive.
So the clock is stopped at 41 seconds. It's 2nd and 7 now as Hendon Hooker's in shotgun with 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 41 seconds to go. So Hooker is going to take the snap. Wake Forest sends 4, and he's going to keep it himself. Going to try to call his own number as he runs out to the left side, and he is tackled just short of that first down marker. They have that timeout. It looks like they're a little hesitant on calling it just yet, so they're going to let that clock go down a little bit. 3rd and 1. The Hokies got to work quickly here. So now 3rd and 1 for Virginia Tech as they're going to hand it off to Herbert, and Herbert just gets that first down, so that will momentarily stop the clock as they're going to have to move the chains. But with 16 seconds left, they're maybe going to have 1 or 2 plays at it. And Hendon Hooker is going to just take the snap under center and spike it with 14 seconds to go. It's a quick clock management IQ right there for Hendon Hooker. Do you like how Justin Fuente and the staff held on to that timeout?
Absolutely, because right now you can still throw the football over the middle of the field. You don't just have to take shots to the end zone because you have that timeout in your back pocket with 14 seconds.
So the Virginia Tech offense getting up to the line now. As it's in shotgun, you're going to have 2 wide receivers down to the right, and you got 1 out to the left, James Mitchell on the right side of the line, and Wake Forest will call a timeout and talk about addressing the defensive scheme against the Hokies. It's the first timeout of the half, and Evan, you're talking about now from a Virginia Tech perspective, who's your guy to go to? You got James Mitchell with the first touchdown of the game. He could be one to go to. Do you give it to Trey Turner because he's been very active on this drive?
Yeah, I would. I mean, Trey Turner on a couple of slant routes. He has been great on this drive, and it's great to see because Virginia Tech has not gotten their receivers involved in this game, minus James Mitchell, until this drive. They call him Big Play Trey for a reason. I think Raheem Blackshear may be out of the backfield. I mean, you can't rule out here a potential jet sweep either because, again, you've got that 1 timeout. It allows you to stay flexible as a play caller if you're Brad Cornelson. If you're out of timeouts right now, all you're doing is throwing to the sideline or taking shots to the end zone. So I think trying to maybe get Trey Turner open at midfield, but I think James Mitchell's that guy to look out for here. In the red zone, he's that big vertical threat for Virginia Tech. But again, they can call whatever they like here. They've got about 3 plays with 14 seconds left and a timeout. And you can't forget as well, if you're Hendon Hooker, can't take a sack here. You're in field goal range. You're looking for points here. Would love a touchdown, but you need points.
So Hooker's now going to be in the shotgun. Pretty tight formation around the line of scrimmage as Hooker will take the snap, fake the handoff to Herbert, and Hooker's going to take a shot to the end zone. He's going for Mitchell, and he makes a catch, but he steps out of bounds. It would have been the second of the game if he was able to get that right foot down, but just too far out of play. Great catch by Mitchell, but also great defense there from Taylor.
And now it's 3rd and 10. You've got 9 seconds left in a timeout. So they take the shot to the end zone there, but you've really got 2 plays left if this was first down with 9 seconds left. So if you're Virginia Tech, do you go for the first down here, or are you going to take a shot to the end zone?
So with 9 seconds left, I think you still have an opportunity going down the middle of the field, maybe going out a bit. With 9 seconds, if you don't get this first down, you're obviously going to probably resort to that field goal, but anything would be better than taking a big-time loss or a big-time sack or a turnover. Hooker in shotgun now on 3rd and 10. He's going to take the snap from shotgun. He's going to look out in the middle of the field, and it's off the hands, and it's picked off in the end zone by Wake Forest. It was a tip drill. The intended target was Caleb Smith, and it bounces off the hands, and this drive will end with 0 points for Virginia Tech as Hooker's going to go down with that interception. but it just took a nasty deflection off of number 80's hands. Watch that. The safety was in the right place at the right time. Nick Anderson is the one who picks it off for Wake Forest, and an unfortunate series of events for Virginia Tech to end the drive. But for Wake Forest, they catch a huge break before the break.
And while Caleb Smith gave great effort on a pass that I think was thrown a little too high, he got his hands on it, and he's in the right place at the right time. That is a critical turnover for Virginia Tech. If you're Wake Forest, you limit Virginia Tech to 10 points in the first half. Keep Herbert under 30 yards rushing. I don't think you could have asked for a better first half if you're Dave Clawson in Wake Forest.
So Wake Forest will just take the snap and kneel on it, and that's how we're going to go into halftime right there. Wake Forest up 17-10 over the number 19th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. The defense was struggling at times in that second quarter, but it ends with an interception off of Hooker. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to get back with the 3304 Sports halftime show right after this. Welcome back here to Winston-Salem for the 3304 Sports halftime show. My name is Andy Loce. I'll join alongside with Evan Hughes. And we just saw first half where the Wake Forest Demon Deacons are trying to get that upset bid over the number 19 ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. And Evan, this game started with Wake Forest, and it was the rushing game which got involved early on for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, Christian Beal-Smith with a 58-yard run early in the first half that set the tempo for a Wake Forest drive in which they went over 90 yards, converted twice on third down, and Sam Hartman tucked it and ran for the first score of the game. There was a lot of balance for that Wake Forest offense in the first half. Hartman didn't have to do much, just 9 of 12 through the air for 61 yards, but Beal-Smith, 91 yards on the ground. Kenneth Walker, the third, 11 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown. We just got to listen to Coach Dave Clawson at the half before he went into the locker room, and he said that he thought that his team had a lot of balance on offense, and I think that's a great word. They were run first, pass second, but there was balance. And the defense for Wake Forest, Andy. I mean, what a day. They hold Hendon Hooker in the first half to just 8 of 14 passing, 127 yards. They force a red zone turnover at the end of the first half. And the key stat, Khalil Herbert, 9 carries for just 29 yards. This is a Virginia Tech team that came into today second nationally with 312 rushing yards per game. That's the story of the first half, in my opinion. Wake Forest's ability to shut down the running game for Virginia Tech and then stay balanced on offense.
Well, if you look at the stats right here, you could definitely tell the surprising statistic of it is the fact that Wake Forest is out-rushing the Virginia Tech Hokies by 37. You got 24 carries by Wake Forest. They go for 141, and for Virginia Tech, 23 to 104. So Wake Forest plays well through that first quarter. They end the quarter off with a 10-0 lead, but then something switches for Virginia Tech. They're able to get a field goal going, get it on the board, and which in the next drive sets up to be a 39-yard touchdown pass to James Mitchell, his second of the year.
Yeah, James Mitchell continues to show why he is the top receiving threat for Virginia Tech this season. He can block on the outside. He's also someone who finds a way to get open in the middle of the field and actually has pretty good speed for a tight end. He does it all for this Virginia Tech offense, and that was the best drive of the game for Virginia Tech because they were mixing their run with their passing ability, and you saw on that drive, especially that play, Wake Forest continued to key in on Khalil Herbert. And with the RPO, Hendon Hooker making the right decision on a couple of times to pull out and throw, it resulted in a big touchdown for James Mitchell. I think it's going to be important for Virginia Tech to continue to establish Khalil Herbert because when the defense keys in on him, it opens up so much more for their offense, especially in the passing game.
To close off the half, though, it was all Wake Forest. Those last 2 minutes, we saw Kenneth Walker have a monster run for 6 yards out, carrying the defense into the end zone, and then that interception made by Nick Anderson to end off the half. Wake Forest is going into the half with that momentum, and they start off with the ball.
They start off with the ball, and that's why it was so important for them. Even though Virginia Tech almost scored at the end, they get a touchdown with 91 seconds left in the half. They hold Virginia Tech to no points after the tip drill in the end zone and the interception, and then they get the ball to start the second half. So you're talking about a potential 10-point or 14-point swing. That was over a 7-minute drive for Wake Forest. Again, 3 fourth-down conversions, great balance on offense. And then again, defensively, this is a team that was ranked second to last in the ACC in stopping the run. they hold Virginia Tech to just 104 rushing yards in the first half, Herbert to 29 yards. I think it's the defense that's the big story why Wake Forest is leading at the half right now. We saw Carlos Basham, the defensive end from Roanoke, Virginia, make an immediate impact on that 3rd and 1, which Virginia Tech was stopped and forced to punt on their opening drive. The defensive line for Wake Forest, really impressive at stopping the run and putting pressure on Hendon Hooker and the Tech offense.
Yeah, when you look at Wake Forest, they went a little risky at times in that second quarter as well. On that one drive alone, they went on 4th down 3 times, which set up that cannon of Walker, the 3rd touchdown. But let's look into the game. You mentioned how the defense has been the key point. In the pregame show, before this game started, we were all talking about offense this, offense that. Defense looks like it's going to win this game for sure.
Yeah, even for Virginia Tech. I mean, how many times we see Rayshard Ashby coming on blitzes, and this Virginia Tech defense put a lot of pressure on Sam Hartman. I think that's why Wake Forest kind of went run first, pass second late in that first half. You're right, Andy. I mean, I would have said it before the game that I think defense is going to win this game. But maybe it's going to be the offense who wins the game because both teams' defenses are playing that good in the first half. Now, this is a Virginia Tech team, though, that has been really good in the second half so far this season. You think about the Duke game a couple of weeks ago, Virginia Tech. It was a low-scoring game in the first half, then Virginia Tech eventually scores 38 points in the win. So this is a team that kind of takes a little while to get going. So I'm curious to see on the first couple of possessions for Virginia Tech in that third quarter if they're able to score, if they're able to get some momentum. Can Wake Forest sustain the success they had on defense in the second half? That's the story for me as we get set for the third quarter.
Well, we look at 2 defensive players. You see Nick Anderson, 7 tackles, all solo, and the interception at the end of that half for the Demon Deacons. Jamari Connor wearing the number 25 jersey well for Virginia Tech, where he has 6 total tackles, 1 for loss of 3 yards. So you're right. I think this game will come down to defensively, but for Dave Clawson, he has a good record with the lead at half. He is 25-9 when leading at half. That's going to do it here with the 33:04 halftime show. Evan Hughes is going to get the call for the second half. I'll be going over to color commentary. It's Wake Forest 17 over the number 19 ranked Virginia Tech Hokies, 17-10.
And we welcome you back. A beautiful day for college football at Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Great to have you with us on 33:04 Sports alongside Andy Loce. I'm Evan Hughes. Wake Forest leading number 19 Virginia Tech 17-10 at half. And Andy, what a moment for Wake Forest there late in the first half. A huge interception as Nick Anderson, the tip drill, right place at the right time, off the hands of Caleb Smith, right into his hands in the end zone. Wake Forest up 17-10. It was a crucial turnover.
It was a very crucial turnover, and when you look at it, that's something that helps your team build into that locker room. You go in that locker room tied 17-17, it's a different attitude than when Nick Anderson picks off that ball, and he's like, we got this 7-point lead against the number 19th ranked team in the nation. They got to feel really good about themselves. They're outrunning Virginia Tech, who has Khalil Herbert and Hendon Hooker, which we emphasized in the pregame of how good they're running with the football. Wake Forest has to feel very good about where they're at right now.
This is a Demon Deacon team that's averaging over 40 points per game coming into today. Just 17 points in the first half, but it's the defense of the Demon Deacons that held Virginia Tech to just 104 yards on the ground in the first half. Khalil Herbert just 29 yards. Andy, for Virginia Tech to get back into this game, I'm sure Khalil Herbert's going to have a huge part of it.
Always going to have a huge part of this game, Evan. And the offensive line needs to step up as well and give their running backs and their quarterback opportunity to run with the ball. We saw Hendon Hooker not get comfortable at times with running the ball, but now let's see what changes in the second half.
Back deep to return, Donovan Green, John Parker Romo. Virginia Tech races forward, swing of the leg, high end over end kick. This is returned by Green at the 1 yard line. He races up the middle across the 10 to the 15 to the 20, and he's knocked down at the 26 yard line. Wake Forest in their all-black uniforms, their gold helmets with the black WF on the helmet. Virginia Tech in the visiting all-white uniforms with the maroon numbering and lettering. Beautiful day, 79 degrees here at Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So Wake Forest scored a touchdown with 91 seconds to go in the first half. They get the ball to start the second half, 17-10. The redshirt sophomore Sam Hartman is in the gun. Walker the third, the back to his right. Receiver to his left and right, 1st and 10, RPO. Hartman will keep it. He angles far side across the 30. He tucks it and runs to about the 31-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Did not know that Hartman was going to have 8 rushes this early on in the game, Evan. He's a guy that's been able to really throw the ball. He's only thrown it 12 times and run it 8.
2nd down and 5. Hartman just 8 completed passes in that first half. Wake Forest really ran the ball well. On 2nd and 5, hands off Walker, the 3rd, angles near sideline, cuts back at the 40, stays on his feet to the 45-yard line. That'll move the chains for a Wake Forest first down. Great vision for Kenneth Walker, the 3rd.
Yeah, Beal Smith got a good amount of carries in the beginning of this game, but it's been Kenneth Walker since that second quarter. That's going to be his 12th carry of the game now, and he's approaching that 60 mark. You can see both running backs maybe approaching 100.
On 1st and 10 from the 40, Hartman takes the snap, pressured, so he moves out far side, evades the rush, and then the inevitable. Gerard Hewitt drops Sam Hartman for a sack. Hokies bring pressure. Hartman was able to get away from 1 Virginia Tech Hokie. 3 swarm in and bring him down, and Hartman is cramping, and he is hunched over in pain.
Well, great pressure from the Virginia Tech defense on this one. Hartman gets out of the pocket when he feels that pressure, but then Justice Reed is able to slow him up enough for Gerard Hewitt to come from behind and deliver the blow on Hartman. And I don't know if it's Hartman's right leg is what seems to be the issue, but it's not a great sight for Wake Forest at all.
And he takes off his helmet. He's in some pain. Coach Dave Clausen comes out to check on his quarterback. It's 2nd down and 15. We'll step aside for a break and get you an update on Hartman as soon as we get it. You're listening to 3304 Sports, live coverage of ACC college football from Truist Field. Welcome back to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Virginia Tech trailing Wake Forest 17-10. Great to have you with us on 3304 Sports. Alongside Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes. Just before we went to break, Gerard Hewitt, who is the defensive captain of this Virginia Tech team, sacked Sam Hartman, who was injured on the play. But during the timeout, Gerard Hewitt came in, led with the crown of his helmet to the back of the helmet of Sam Hartman, and was ejected for targeting. He is fired up on the field. So the backup, Michael Kern, is into the game on 1st and 10. He takes the snap. He hands off to Walker the 3rd, angles up the middle. Walker the 3rd, a gain of 9 yards. And that'll fire up this Virginia Tech team, not having their captain out there. But for Wake Forest, Michael Kern comes in for what looks to be just a snap. It looks like Sam Hartman is back and good to go. That's great to see.
It is. I'm going to address that Hewitt play one more time. Watching it again, I can see why the targeting came from behind him. Definitely look like he led the crown to him. That's not a typical targeting call, though, when it goes to the back of the head like that. So it's a major blow for Virginia Tech defensively. 2nd
down and 2 for Wake Forest. 2 receivers split wide right for Hartman. Walker the 3rd, the back to his left. On 2nd and 2, the snap. Handoff Walker the 3rd, and he is stonewalled at the line of scrimmage by Chamari Connor, wearing the iconic Frank Beamer 25 this week. It's a loss of 1. It brings up 3rd and 3.
So now it's going to be another 3rd down opportunity for Wake Forest to really get out there and try to continue to strive. They get a help with the 15-yard penalty on the target, and let's see if they can convert.
From the 27-yard line, Hartman the snap on 3rd and 3. He looks over the middle, surveys, flushed out right. He throws on the run. It is hauled in and then dropped. Incomplete pass. As Gruhl had it in and out of his arms, Hartman delivered a beautiful ball. It's 4th and 3.
Well, it's great pressure there from Justice Reed to get his hands up on the throw. But this is a ball you have to catch if you're Nolan Gruhl. It was in his hands. He had it. He was even looking like he was going to use his chest as the help, but just couldn't get the first down.
So Nick Skiba comes out, his 2nd field goal attempt of the day. This from 46 yards from the right hash. A junior from Clover, South Carolina. Here is the snap, a good one, the hold, the swing of the leg from Skiba. This ball splits the uprights with plenty of distance. It is good, and Wake Forest back out in front by 10 points, 20-10, the new score, as the Demon Deacons are able to grab 3 points on the opening drive of the second half. 12:23 to play in the 3rd quarter. Wake Forest 20, Virginia Tech 10. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back to beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's a picture-perfect day for college football. Temperatures just south of 80 degrees, and we've got a good one here on 3304 Sports. Wake Forest leading number 19 Virginia Tech 20-10. Andy, the Demon Deacons scored late in the first half. They get the ball to start the second half, and they add 3 points.
That's good for them. They get back out to this 10-point lead that they had at the end of the first quarter when Virginia Tech was looking to strike and maybe even take the lead at that last drive of the game. It looks like Wake Forest has asserted themselves by getting themselves another huge lead, and with Virginia Tech, it's got to be go time now for them. They have to score on this drive. Very limited opportunities going to be coming in this game, especially when you have these long drives that Wake Forest has been producing.
Well, Virginia Tech will not have Gerard Hewitt, their senior defensive captain, who was ejected for targeting on the previous drive. It'll be interesting to see how the Hokies defense responds when Wake Forest goes back out a little bit later in the third quarter. But now, Hendon Hooker, Khalil Herbert have a chance to touch the football for the first time in the second half. Again, 20-10 the score. Herbert held to just 29 yards on the ground. Place kicker Jake Crane has the ball teed up. He races forward, swings the leg high, end over end kick, and this ball will drop out of bounds. Don't know if it made it to the end zone or not. The flag is thrown. Virginia Tech's going to get great field position here as Crane kicks it out of play.
Well, Virginia Tech has gotten great opportunities off of some Wake Forest mistakes. This was going to be a huge, Evan. Talking about a possession that starts at 25, you move that up 15 yards to the 40. Great field position for Hendon Hooker to get back out there and get the Hokies rolling.
We'll wait for the official ruling, but that ball was indeed kicked out of play, so the Hokies are going to have terrific field position here for their first drive of the second half. And after the play, there's a personal foul on Virginia Tech. So they will have to assess that as well as the kick going out of play. A personal foul, that negates the great field position.
Oh, it definitely does. And when you thought about starting at the 40, all of a sudden you're moving back to the Virginia Tech 13, which is where this drive is going to start.
We have the luxury of looking at the replay here. And actually, so from the 13-yard line, Hooker on 1st and 10, brings Herbert in motion, fakes the jet sweep. Hooker keeps it up the middle. A gain of 6 on the first play of the second half for Virginia Tech. It's second and manageable.
So this is to be a legal block on Virginia Tech, which is why the penalty brings them back to the 13. But a great run right there from Hooker. Good 6 yards.
12:04 to play. Running clock, third quarter. Demon Deacons lead 20-10. Second down for Virginia Tech. Hooker looks over to the sideline for a quick audible. Herbert is the back to the right of Hooker in the gun. He claps his hands, read option, hands off Herbert, angles far side, close to the first down marker. Looks like he got it at the 22. That'll move the chains.
That's a great first time to move the chains. You get 2 plays, 2 run plays, which is what they need to do if they're going to get back in this game. Those holes are going to open up eventually for Virginia Tech. They haven't really done it yet, but now they're making the steps towards getting there. And a first down on only 2 carries is a great sign for Virginia Tech.
Suleiman Kamara in on the stop for Wake Forest. 1st and 10, Virginia Tech from their own 22-yard line. 2 receivers to the right for Hooker, fakes the read option, drops back to the 15, throws a wheel route, caught by Herbert across the 25, ankle tackle at the 26-yard line. It's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, so that's a kind of play right there where you say, get the ball in Hooker's hands, but Hooker really hasn't been able to go downfield with it just yet. A good check down out there at Herbert. Last week they had 1 touchdown, 1 catch for Herbert on the game. He took it back for 29 yards. His only touchdown in the game, but shows what they can do on the screen plays.
2nd down and 6 for Virginia Tech. Hooker works with trips to his left, motions Blackshear far side, takes the snap, broken play. Hooker races forward, a gain of 2 at best. It's 3rd down for Virginia Tech. Once again, Kamara in on the stop.
A great tackle right there, and now our first 3rd down look at Virginia Tech, what they can do on this drive. In that first half, you talk about their 3rd down conversion rate, they were 3 of 10, which isn't the greatest sign you want to see some from Virginia Tech, especially since they had a lot of 3rd and short plays. This one is 3rd and 4, easily manageable for Virginia Tech. Let's see if they're able to convert and get to move the chains.
2 receivers split to the left. Hooker with Blackshear to his right in the gun. Looks over to the sideline for an audible. Clock runs under 10 minutes to go 3rd quarter, and Justin Fuente calls a timeout. First charge timeout of the second half with 9:58 to go in the third quarter. And that's, go back to the first half, Andy. Virginia Tech called a timeout on their first drive of the game. So Justin Fuente wants to talk about this third and manageable. And it does feel like a pretty big call because you're down 20-10. You just had your defensive captain ejected. It feels like momentum is on Wake Forest side. And this does feel like an important drive for the Hokies.
It definitely does. And you want to get within where you're one score away from Wake Forest from here on out. One of the good things about Wake Forest is their offensive efficiency. They're third in the ACC with that one. And for Wake Forest, when you see a drive like that go in that direction and get points to start off the half, it makes it so much easier for them to do that. And that's been the great thing about the Demon Deacons. They scored on their first drives in both halves, so they just were been better adjusted against the Virginia Tech defense. And this isn't an area where you can say, if we don't pick it up, we should go for it on fourth down, because if you mess up on that one, you give Wake Forest amazing field position. So right now, this is a big play. It can definitely keep the momentum with Wake Forest if they're able to get the stop, but it can easily turn to the Hokies if they're able to convert.
Virginia Tech has struggled statistically on third downs this season. In the first half, Virginia Tech just 3 of 8 on third downs. They've got the ball in Wake Forest territory, trailing 20-10. Again, it's great to have you with us here on 3304 Sports from beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Alongside Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes. It's one of the smaller stadiums in all of the ACC, but very, very nice. And good to see some fans in the stands today. Limited capacity in the state of North Carolina, but there are Hokie and Demon Deacon fans in the stands.
Well, I would tell you this. As a viewer of the sport of football, when there are fans in the stands, it just makes the game a lot more exciting. And when we can get fans going back in the stadium, and at one point we'll hit it back up to 100%, hopefully sooner rather than later, it'll be just an amazing sight.
All right, so the Hokies have third down and 4 with 9:58 to play in the third quarter. A long chat here for Justin Fuente and his offensive coordinator, Brad Cornelson. As the entire offense huddled around Coach Fuente right now, it's something that the Hokies traditionally do at the end of every half. When you go to halftime, at the end of every quarter as well. Justin Fuente rallies the entire team around him. He wants to talk before they go into the locker room, and that's kind of the scene right now. Everyone huddled around. Big clap of the hands for Justin Fuente. He's got his mask basically covering half of his head. And here comes Khalil Herbert and Hendon Hooker for what is a big 3rd and 4 early in the third quarter. Hokies in their all-white uniforms, Demon Deacons in their all-black uniforms.
Let's see if they go with the run or go through the air on this one, Evan.
Herbert is in the backfield. Hooker on 3rd down and 4. Brings Robinson in motion to the far side of the field. 4 down lineman for Wake Forest. Hooker takes the snap, throws a slant that is low below the feet of Tavion Robinson. Had him hoping, but Hooker missed him. It's 4th and 4.
That's just a missed throw right there from Hendon Hooker. It looked very short to Robinson. I think if he would have caught it, he would have gotten the first down. That's just a bad throw there from number 2.
It's the right play call as well. Robinson open, but Hooker just misfired there. So out comes Oscar Bradburn. Taylor Morin is back deep to return for Wake. Here's the punt, and Bradburn fakes the punt. He's off across the 30, 35, and tackled at their own 41-yard line. First down, Virginia Tech. Oscar Bradburn, the punter, fakes the punt in their own territory. What a call from Justin Fuente.
Oh, what a dial up. It was perfect. You talk about a game where you're giving the ball back to Wake Forest, who can maybe extend their lead up to 17. No, just keep it back to your Ray Guy Award semifinalist and let him run up the right side of the field, gets the first down, and that will fire up the maroon and orange.
A 14-yard rush for Oscar Bradburn. 1st and 10 from Virginia Tech's own 43-yard line. Bunch set. Extra offensive lineman in. Hooker brings Robinson in motion. Jet sweep, fake, keep by Hooker. Angles near sideline, takes off, a gain of 2, and he's wrapped up by Jasir Taylor, the cornerback, who's fired up after bringing down Hooker.
Oh, that's a great tackle there by Taylor. If Hooker is able to break through that tackle, you're looking at 20 to 25 yards. It's in the open field. You get the shot right there of what it would have looked like. Hooker would have been gone. So a big tackle there by the defensive captain. We've heard his name a lot tonight.
2nd and 8, 3 receivers to the left. Hooker the snap, handoff Raheem Blackshear. He muscles his way forward, a gain of 2 or 3 yards. Brings up 3rd and 5 for Virginia Tech with 8:40 to play in the third quarter. Demon Deacons leading 20-10, and we have a flag thrown after the play as the officials break up a skirmish between the two sides.
Yeah, both teams were talking to each other a little bit after the game, and probably not the kindest words spread between both each other. So
after the play, personal foul against Wake Forest, says our referee Jeff Heiser. And that'll move the chains. Automatic first down for Virginia Tech. And that's on Carlos Basham, the redshirt senior from Roanoke, Virginia. It looks like just a little too much after the play there, Andy.
Well, it looks like he goes behind the offensive lineman of Virginia Tech. He goes behind Brock Hartman and shoves him down when the play is over. And you look at defensive captains, what they were able to do. Hewitt for the Hokies, ejected for targeting, and Basham a 15-yard penalty for a personal foul.
1st and 10 from the Wake Forest 38. 2 receivers left for Hooker. He'll take the snap. Pump fakes, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Anderson. His second pick of the day. First down, Wake Forest. And Virginia Tech turns it over after a promising drive.
They try to go big on first down, but Nick Anderson right there again towards that left side of the field. He has Hendon Hooker's number today on interceptions. When you look at that throw, it wasn't the greatest throw again from Hooker. It was well over the head of James Mitchell and out for Wake Forest. After that punt looked to shift the momentum to Virginia Tech, the Demon Deacons make the defensive stop.
Hendon Hooker came in today having no interceptions, had yet to turn the ball over. Today, 2 picks, one of which ended the first half essentially with a pick in the back of the end zone, and there throws an interception almost in the red zone. So 1st and 10 for Wake Forest. Ball's at their own 14-yard line. Hartman the snap, hands off to Beal Smith. He races forward, a gain of 3, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Demon Deacons.
This is when I think the Demon Deacons should take some time off the clock, right? The run game has been well. You had that 7-minute drive in that second quarter, which played pivotal.
2nd and 6. Hartman works with 2 receivers to his left. Read option, hands off Beal Smith, explodes up the middle, angles near side, he's across the 30. Beal Smith cuts back at the 35, throws a stiff arm at the 36 before he's pushed out of bounds by Chamari Connor. First down, Wake Forest.
Now, Wake Forest, they have the opportunity now of running the football, keeping that clock in motion, try to cut off some minutes now so Virginia Tech doesn't get an offensive chance.
7:35 to play, third quarter. 2 receivers to the left for Hartman, takes the snap, pitches Beal Smith far side, cuts across the 40, brought down at the 41-yard line. Tackle made by Rayshard Ashby, bringing up 2nd and 6. Demon Deacons started this drive inside their own 20. They've already got the ball at midfield. Trips to the right for Hartman, takes the snap, throws a screen pass caught by Morin, but an ankle tackle made by Tisdale. Only a gain of 1 as Morin just lunges forward there, brings up 3rd and short. Taylor Morin, the redshirt freshman from Centerville, Virginia. Great punt returner as well as a receiver. He's lined up in the slot. Hartman looks over to the Wake Forest sideline for an audible. 3rd and 5. Demon Deacons 3 of 10, converting on 3rd down today. Here is the snap. Read option, give Beal Smith, races forward. He is a yard short, brought down at Wake Forest's own 46-yard line. So Hartman hands off there on 3rd and manageable. It's 4th down for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, and we saw in that drive back in the second quarter. I know I keep on bouncing back to this, but they went on a 4th down here. I wouldn't be surprised that Coach Clausen does it again.
That 7-minute drive late in the first half at 3 4th down conversions, but will elect a punt. Ivan Mora comes out to punt. Tavion Robinson, the punt returner for Virginia Tech. Mora averaging 39 yards a punt. He stands at his own 31. Here's the snap to him. Swing of the leg at the 35. High end over end kick. Robinson awaits, lets it roll over his head, and a flag is thrown as Robinson collided with one of the gunners of Wake Forest. It was Kenneth Dix III. And a flag thrown. This might be unnecessary roughness on the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, this is going to be also pivotal. You talked about a punt. It was going to go back to the 20. I don't think that Dix III saw Tavion Robinson wave that hand for a fair catch on that one. So that will be crucial. Let's see if Robinson waves it. Yeah, there is the clear indication of the fair catch. So he doesn't go for the ball. And then Dix just comes down and tackles him. I mean, this would have been great field position when you're talking about Wake Forest defense, helping inside the 10. Now it moves out to about the 20.
And Robinson called for the fair catch, would have been inside the 10-yard line. Now a personal foul, and Virginia Tech has a little bit of breathing room. 5:49 to play, third quarter. Wake Forest leads number 19, Virginia Tech, 20-10. Jeff Heiser, our referee, still meeting with his crew right now. Umpire Mike Morton is out there with linesman Arthur Harden right at about the 10-yard line where Tavion Robinson was when Dix the third ran into him.
I think this is just about where the position the ball should be. I mean, if he catches it there, you probably add the 15 yards to the personal foul from that point. But the question is where does he actually catch it? Because Tavion really never had the opportunity to catch that football.
Well, our referee Jeff Heiser went over and talked with Virginia Tech head coach Justin Fuente. It is first down for the Hokies. We'll see where they spot the football. Virginia Tech looking for some momentum on offense. Hendon Hooker has thrown 2 interceptions on the last 2 Virginia Tech drives. Midway through the third quarter, this Wake Forest defense continues to impress. First and 10, Herbert to the right of Hooker in the gun from the 20-yard line. Hooker takes the snap, read option, gives to Herbert. He turns the corner at the 20, bounces off tackler 25, and Herbert is off to the races. Knocked out of bounds at midfield. Khalil Herbert with a big run for Virginia Tech. First down, Hokies.
That's what makes him so special, his ability to break away from tackles and get out to the open field. This play looks dead for most wide running backs, but this one, that's one broken tackle and great blocking downfield for the Hokies.
Knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. First and 10, 2 receivers to the right for Hooker. 4 down linemen for Wake Forest. Hooker takes a snap, read option, give to Herbert, and he churns up field to the 50, brought down at the Wake Forest 49-yard line, and again, he's 1 tackle away from breaking that, Andy.
Yeah, and that's a good stop right there from Carlos Basham Jr. You talk about a guy who is on that defensive line. He's leading this team so far. He's been the reason why this Khalil Herbert's had to struggle today, and he's made another big stop.
2nd and 3 from the Wake 49. 2 receivers to the right of Hooker. He claps his hands, fakes the pitch. Hooker runs up the middle. He's got the first down and knocked down at the 42-yard line. First down, Hokies.
As you can tell, Virginia Tech is not going to try to do anything too aggressive. We saw them try to go downfield twice in their last 2 drives where they were unfortunately picked off by Nick Anderson, but this time keeping it to the ground.
First and 10 from the 42. Fakes the handoff to Herbert. Hooker throws far sideline, caught. Tavion Robinson at the Wake 29. Once again, first down, Virginia Tech.
And that's a great one right there. Just talk about how they're not going through the air, and that one they go to his favorite target in Tavion Robinson.
Clock runs under 4:20 to play, third quarter. Robinson comes in motion, and the Hokies will not get this play off. There's a flag thrown. Justin Fuente has his headset off, looking for an explanation from our referee, Jeff Heiser. And so it looks like they will replay first down. There was no flag thrown. Justin Fuente has his hands in the air. He lowers his mask, and I have not seen Justin Fuente this fired up all season about the call. It's first and 10, so the play does not count. There was no penalty. Clock continues to run. 4:05 in counting. 2 receivers to the right for Hooker from the Wake 29. Blackshear comes in motion. Hooker fakes the pitch. Now he drops back, dumps off a screen for Gallo. He's caught it at the 25, tripped up at around the 20-yard line. Excellent play call from Brad Cornelson there. Hokies are close to a first down.
Yeah, the Hokies had a good play drawn up. Trey Turner was going to be wide open in that play before it was blown dead, but nothing like a little check down right there. You got Luke Tanua going downfield and making a big block, and Gallo reaching across for the first down.
Hokies will move quickly here on offense. It is a first down, a gain of 10. First and 10 Hokies from the Wake 19-yard line. Hooker takes the snap, read option, gives to Blackshear. He is met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Excellent tackle there from Carlos Basham Jr. It's 2nd and 9. Nothing doing there for Blackshear.
Nothing going there for all. I mean, you talk about Herbert and Hooker able to find the holes. Blackshear steps in, and Wake Forest defense closed that one up. A great tackle there from Basham.
Under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Hooker with Herbert to the left in the gun. Brings Blackshear in motion, jet sweep. Give to Blackshear, and he is dropped 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Travion Red with an excellent open field tackle. It's 3rd and long.
That's a second devastating run from Raheem Blackshear today. The other one did come this close to the goal line as well for the Hokies, but this one is a 7-yard loss. And you talk about the tackle right there with the defensively for Wake Forest. Red just coming out and making the big-time stop. 3rd and long now for Virginia Tech.
2:25 to play in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 16 for Virginia Tech. They're 3 of 9 on 3rd downs today. It looks to be an obvious passing situation for the Hokies. From the Wake 25, Hooker takes the snap, and he throws a slant over the middle. Caught Robinson at the 20, stays in bounds, and is finally shoved out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. So the Hokies get some serious yardage back. It's 4th and manageable, and we'll see what Justin Fuente decides to do.
Well, this is a great route run right here because you talk about a guy coming right down the middle of the field, and he just has enough of his body weight shifting out due to the pressure made there by the Wake Forest defender for him to step out 5 yards short of 1st down.
Clock runs under 1:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Wake Forest 20, number 19 Virginia Tech 10. Brian Johnson comes out to kick, 1 for 2 today, 31-yard attempt. Here's the snap and the hold, swing of the leg, and Johnson splits the uprights. It is good, and Virginia Tech cuts the deficit to 7 points late in the 3rd quarter. Demon Deacons 20, Hokies 13, 1:29 to play, and we've got ourselves a good one from beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Big possession there for the Hokies to at least come away with some points, Andy. And now Sam Hartman and the Wake Forest offense will come back out and try and capitalize once again.
Yeah, you know, that drive right there, you thought that they were going to get a touchdown based on the way they were moving with it, but they got into the red zone and they had a few runs that didn't go the way they wanted to, but for the way they get points and make this a one-possession game is what's crucial. You have 1:29 left of this 3rd quarter. This quarter's been flying by, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, we might not have many opportunities left in this game. We might have 2 or 3 drives at most by the way that we've been playing at it today. And that's a big drive, and for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, they're saying now defensively, hey, we held them to a field goal. We get a touchdown here. We open this game up, and we don't know if the way that Virginia Tech has been able to do offensively today, thanks to that guy right there, Nick Anderson, this game, Wake Forest can put it away definitely on this drive.
There's John Parker Romo, the Hokies specialist place kicker, sends it away, end-over-end kick. That sails over the head of Donovan Green and into the end zone for a touchback. So 1:29 to play 3rd quarter. It's 20-13. Wake Forest leads. Again, these are 2 teams that average over 40 points per game coming into today. Pro Football Focus ranked Virginia Tech the number 1 offense in the ACC, number 2 Wake Forest, and just 33 combined points between these 2 teams. Out comes the redshirt sophomore from Charlotte, Sam Hartman. He's in the gun. Walker the third to the right on 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. He slings it out far side. That is caught. Ja'Cory Roberson angles far side across the 1st down marker, and a gain of 11. 1st down, Wake Forest.
He's been a very reliable target today. He now has 6 catches for 46 yards, and he's by far the leading receiver for this Wake Forest team.
Demon Deacons go no huddle here. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Handoff to Kenneth Walker III. He's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop for Virginia Tech, it's Amari Barno. 2nd and 9. Wake Forest struggled to run the ball at times in the first half, and then there were times they absolutely shredded this Tech D. 4 down linemen for the Hokies on 2nd and 9. Low snap to Hartman. He looks out wide to throw. Incomplete pass. Looking for A.T. Berry, and there's a flag. Dorian Strong in on the coverage. Looks like pass interference on the Hokies freshman.
Yeah, it didn't come at the quickest time, but I believe that this is the right call here on the Virginia Tech Hokies. A little bit of holding, a little bit of, contact coming the way for Perry to make the catch.
Now, pass interference is going to be called on the transfer in Devin Taylor. But it was Dorian Strong in coverage. Looked like he maybe came back, got his right hand extended on the pass to A.T. Perry. But it'll move the sticks. First down, Wake Forest. 42 seconds to play in the third quarter. They lead 20-13. The ball is spotted at their own 47. Two receivers to the left for Hartman. He takes the snap, motions left, now keeps it himself, cuts up the field, dives across the 50, down to the 49. Looks like a broken play, but the Demon Deacons able to scratch 6 yards out of that.
Hey, you can have broken plays in football, Evan, but at least if you're going the right direction, they'll take anything they can get.
And we'll see if Wake Forest will churn the clock, which is at 20 seconds, all the way to 0. Hartman is walking to the sideline, and that looks to be the final play of the third quarter. 20-13, Wake Forest leads number 19 Virginia Tech, trying to hand the Hokies its second loss of the season. We'll step aside for a break. When we come back, 15 minutes to play, the fourth quarter between the Hokies and the Demon Deacons. You're listening to 3304 Sports Live from beautiful Truist Field. Welcome back to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Fourth quarter of football. We've got ourselves a good one. Wake Forest leading number 19 Virginia Tech 20-13. Sam Hartman and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons facing 2nd and 6 from the Hokies' 49-yard line. Here's the snap and the handoff to Kenneth Walker III. He runs forward, cuts back, angles near side, gain of about 8 on the play, and instead of it being 3rd and long, Andy, it's 3rd and 1. Rather, they moved the chains. A first down run for Walker III, who nearly slipped in the backfield.
I know that. What a great recovery run right there.
On 1st and 10, handoff Walker III, and he is immediately met in the backfield by Amari Barno of Virginia Tech. A loss of 2. That play blown up from the start.
That's something we've been seeing most of this game. From the opposite side would have been stopping the Virginia Tech running, but big stop there by Barno. 2
receivers to the left for Hartman, 1 to the right on 2nd and 14. He takes the snap, drops back to the 50, steps up and throws a one-on-one jump ball, wide open and caught at the 10-yard line. Donovan Green, 1st and goal, Wake Forest. Biggest throw of the day for Sam Hartman.
Donovan Green's top 5 in the ACC for yards per catch. We just saw it right there with a huge 36-yard grab. That's Hartman's arm that we've been waiting to see all game. Green making his first catch of the game, but it's huge for the Demon Deacons. 1st
and goal from the 9. Hartman, the snap, handoff, Walker III, and he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage at the 14-yard line. Excellent open field tackle there made by Breon Murray. Walker III, nothing doing on that run.
Well, Murray's really stepped up for these last few weeks and developed into starting cornerback, but that's a huge tackle. Calm the defense down a little bit after a broken play, which set up a 36-yard pass.
Clock runs under 13 and a half minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Demon Deacons lead 20-13. 2nd and goal from the Hokies' 12-yard line. Hartman hands off Walker III, gets by a tackler, lunges forward to the 6-yard line, and it sets up a manageable 3rd and goal for the Demon Deacons.
So now it's 3rd and goal. You have that big play and then a loss, and you give it to Walker. He gets significant yardage. What do you do here now? Do you go pass or do you go run?
From the 6-yard line, Hartman the snap on 3rd and goal. He's flushed out right, throws to the corner of the end zone. Hauled in, it's Green. Touchdown, Wake Forest. But a flag is thrown on the play. Breon Murray in coverage for the Hokies.
I'm thinking this is going to go against Green right here. Green got that separation away from Murray, and the flag was called.
Here is the call from our referee, Jeff Heiser. It's pass interference on Green and Wake Forest. The touchdown is brought back.
Well, I think originally they ruled him being 1 yard short anyways of the end zone, but that is just a push off there off of Murray. Green trying to create that separation, but he extended those arms, and that's a big no-no when it comes to pass interference.
So 3rd and goal. This time the ball will be spotted all the way back at around the 20-yard line. It's the 5th penalty of the day on Wake Forest. And we'll see if Virginia Tech brings soft coverage here. 3rd and goal from the 21-yard line. 4 down linemen for the Hokies. Hartman with 2 receivers split wide left. And Green, the lone receiver, near side to his right. He looks over to Coach Clausen for an audible. Walker III to his left in the backfield on 3rd and goal. Handoff Walker III. He is wrapped up and swarmed behind the line of scrimmage. A bunch of Hokies in on the stop, including Alan Tisdale, and we've got extracurricular after the play. Norrell Pollard getting into a skirmish with the Demon Deacon offensive line. There's a flag after the play.
If this goes against Wake Forest, Evan, this looks like it will go back outside of field goal territory. But if it goes against Virginia Tech, a major blow.
After the play, personal foul on Virginia Tech, and that is a critical flag on the Hokies as Wake Forest has new life in the red zone.
Well, I was going to say that pass interference call on Green that last play might have changed the game around and given Virginia Tech momentum, but it goes right back now to Wake Forest.
Well, after the play was over, they had blown the play dead with forward progress from Walker III. Then Norrell Pollard just pushed at the end. Walker III, the running back. So 1st and 10, Wake Forest. Here's a direct snap to Walker III. He's tripped up in the backfield. Ankle tackle made by Rayshard Ashby, a loss of 2. So after all of that, it is 2nd down for Wake Forest. Clock runs, 12:15 to go, 4th quarter. This is a touchdown game, 20-13. Demon Deacons lead the Hokies. This feels like a critical moment in this game, Andy.
Yeah, there's a lot of turning points in this game have come from this drive alone.
2nd down and 9 from the Virginia Tech 14-yard line. Hartman the snap, drops back to the 15, steps up and throws over the middle. Incomplete. Looked like he had a walk-in touchdown as he's almost hooked up with Blake Whiteheart, the backup tight end. But the ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 9, and it stops the clock.
Yeah, this is a big throw. It looks like he almost cuts back in and delivers a throw, but this, I think, is another big drop from Wake Forest.
3rd down and 9 from the Virginia Tech 14-yard line. Clock is stopped, 11:56 to go. Biggest play of the day coming for redshirt sophomore Sam Hartman. Needs to get to the 3-yard line. He takes the snap. 4-man rush. Pressure coming. He steps up in the pocket. Hartman takes off. A gain of 3, but he's thrown to the ground as Deshaun Crawford comes up big with the stop for Virginia Tech. It's 4th down, and you would think this is Nick Skiba time for Wake Forest.
Oh, yeah. Anything you can do to really extend the lead and make it a 2-possession game is something that Coach Clausen has to be thinking. Only 11:31 left in this game. Virginia Tech might get 2 possessions at it, but your team is also going to get an opportunity of maybe elevating the score as well. So Skiba, I think, is the smart choice here.
Nick Skiba, who broke the record last year for consecutive makes in the NCAA. 28-yard chip shot from the right hash. Here is the snap, a good one. The hold is there. The kick, a low line drive, splits the uprights, and Skiba has his 2nd make of the day. Back to a 10-point lead for Wake Forest. All about the Demon Deacons today as they lead the Hokies 23-13, 11:05 to play. You're listening to 3304 Sports. Welcome back to a beautiful day for ACC football from Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Wake Forest knocking on the door, trying to beat number 19 Virginia Tech. Thanks so much for being with us on 3304 Sports. Alongside Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes. 23-13, Demon Deacons lead with 11:05 to play. They've held Khalil Herbert to just 64 yards on the ground. One of the stories of the day.
Yeah, leading rusher in the ACC. He is always a guy that's able to break free, and he's had good runs today, Evan. But when you look at the day as a whole, 12 carries for only 64 yards, definitely a great performance from the Wake Forest defensive line so far.
This is a big drive coming for the Hokies, down double digits with 11:30 to play. They need points on this drive.
They definitely do, and they would preferably get a touchdown on this drive as well. But with only 11:05 left in the 4th quarter, these drives aren't going to come as often. The opportunities to score aren't going to come as often as well. Virginia Tech has moved the ball at times, but they haven't been able to really get into that end zone yet. They have that one touchdown to James Mitchell, which was pretty much a walk-in touchdown for the tight end. But besides that, it's been really hard for them to score on the end zone.
Hendon Hooker has thrown 2 interceptions today, both of which have come in Wake Forest territory. Big drive coming for the Hokies. Place kicker Jack Crane has the ball teed. He's the kickoff specialist as well for this Demon Deacon team. A point to both sidelines. Here he comes racing forward as Khalil Herbert awaits the kick. High end over end kick. Herbert backpedals to the goal line. He hauls it in at the 1-yard line and will return. He angles up the middle and he's brought down at the 19-yard line. Tackled made by Ryan Smenda Jr. Out comes Hendon Hooker and this Virginia Tech offense that has been so good this season. They put up 40 points on Boston College last week. They put up over 45 points against North Carolina 2 weeks ago, but Virginia Tech held to just 13 points here in the fourth quarter. 11:01 to play. First down, Hokies at their own 19. Trips to the left of Hooker, Caleb Smith in the slot. Herbert the back to the left hip of Hooker on 1st and 10. Handoff Herbert, angles far side, and he's met at the line of scrimmage as Jasir Taylor, the cornerback, just shoves him out of bounds. A gain of none at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you mentioned the offensive scoring. You know, both teams combined for only 6 points in that third quarter. And games this year, they average about 82-3. So now the running game, you went back to Khalil Herbert, and that didn't work. So do you mind switching it up, or do you keep it going to your feature back?
2nd and 10 from the 19. 2 receivers set to the right. One comes in motion and Trey Turner. They fake the handoff to Herbert, throw it to the flat. Turner across the 20, dragged out of bounds at the 22-yard lines. A host of tacklers for Wake Forest, including A.J. Williams. It's 3rd and long for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and this is where it gets big now to really convert. 3rd and 7. This isn't a comfortable territory whatsoever. You would wish to be 3rd and short so you can give it off to Khalil Herbert or Hooker keeps it himself, but now you're looking at trying to get the ball through the air.
Clock runs under 10:10 to play fourth quarter. 3rd and 7 for Virginia Tech, trailing by 10 points. 2 receivers to the right for Hooker. Motion Mitchell out to the flat. He takes the snap. Here comes the rush. Hooker tucks off and runs. He's across the line of scrimmage. He's got the first down. Tripped up at the 34-yard line. First down, Hendon Hooker. First down, Virginia Tech.
Smart play from Hooker. You didn't see anything you liked. You kept it yourself, and you worked your way to get that first down. Big run, and really showed why he's this quarterback at Virginia Tech and why he fits so well in this offense.
First down from their own 34-yard line. Hooker claps his hands. Read option, give to Herbert. Angles near side. A gain of about 4 yards. He's out to the 38-yard line. A flag does come in. A hold on Virginia Tech. This is coming back.
Yeah, devastating hold right there from Virginia Tech. Right when you get Herbert a nice run after a huge first down pickup, the last thing you want to do is move 10 yards backwards. And when we watch the play again, it looks to be on Mitchell, who was I think he was holding there on A.J. Williams, so this will be a devastating blow for the Hokies. 1st and long, and they're going to have to convert now under 10 minutes left in the game.
So the clock stops 9:35, and now it starts as the ball has been spotted. 9.5, Virginia Tech still running the football, still running their offense, down by double digits. Backed up all the way now to the 24-yard line. It's 1st and 20. 2 receivers to the left and right of Hooker. He claps his hands, prances forward, throws over the middle. He's got Blackshear at the 42-yard line. There's the pop pass that Hokie fans have been waiting for all year, and Blackshear nearly broke it for a touchdown.
Yeah, look at Hooker. He just scurries his way up to the line of scrimmage and finds Raheem Blackshear. What a throw. I mean, Hooker hasn't really hit all his throws today. That's a good one right there down the middle of the field, and Blackshear just so close to that first down marker.
He took the snap, and then he hovered over the line of scrimmage, and then it's the old Tim Tebow jump pass, the pop pass, whatever you want to call it. He dumps it off to Blackshear over the middle, and it's 2nd and short, but there's an injured Wake Forest player on the play. That'll stop the clock with just over 9 minutes to play. It's 23-13, Wake Forest leading number 19, Virginia Tech. We'll step aside for a break. When we come back, more action from beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Welcome back to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The injured player for Wake Forest, the linebacker Chase Jones, he is on the sideline and is being attended to right now. If we get an update, we'll get you any information we have here on 3304 Sports on his status. Game reset if you're just joining us. 23-13, Wake Forest leads number 19, Virginia Tech. The Hokies are driving. They have the ball in their own territory, but near midfield. They're coming off of a successful pop pass, Tim Tebow-esque pass, whatever you like to refer to it, where Hooker kind of staggers in the backfield and then throws a slant over the middle. It turned out to be a big play.
Yeah, on 1st and 22, right after the holding call, a major pickup for the Hokies. Now you're back to 2nd and short. This is where you want to be when you have the ball and having to face a 2nd down. So Virginia Tech took a major blow and a quick comeback on that play.
Herbert to the right of Hooker in the gun. It's 2nd and 1 from the 44. Hooker the snap, hand off to Herbert. He's got the first down and more across midfield to the 45-40. Herbert broken down at the 38-yard line, but there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, most electrifying run we've seen all game, but this one looks like it could be coming back for Virginia Tech as well. as it will be a holding penalty on that play. So it's a devastating blow once again for Virginia Tech. We haven't seen them with all these holding calls all game, but now the back-to-back holdings, or not back-to-back, but 2 holding calls on this drive, that brings up the penalty yards to 95 for the Hokies.
And this is a Virginia Tech offensive line that's very disciplined. A huge reason why they've been able to run the ball so well has been this offensive line. But, yeah, a hold there on, looks like Doug Nestor. And it wasn't a hold that you necessarily had to have, too. Herbert was already past him. The ball backed up all the way to the 33-yard line. It's 2nd and 11. Blackshear comes in motion into the backfield. Read option, keep by Hooker, pitches out to Blackshear across the 35-40. Blackshear close to a first down out around the 44-yard line.
I'll tell you, Blackshear has gone at sometimes they've gone backwards, and sometimes he's done well. That's a great run right there from Blackshear, makes it 3rd and manageable.
And there is a flag down, a face mask on Wake Forest, which will give Virginia Tech great field position, and they're across midfield now in Wake Forest territory.
Man, our referee Jeff Heiser has been very busy this drive, Evan. I mean, the 2 holding calls for Virginia Tech, and then a 15-yard penalty right there from Carson as he gets the face mask up into the face around Trey Turner, who Trey Turner's trying to block him to get the Hooker the run.
1st and 10 from the Wake 42-yard line. Hooker with 2 receivers to his right. Gallo motion next to the right tackle, and Luke Tenuta. Pressure shown from Wake Forest. Here comes Robinson in the backfield. Jet sweep fake. Hooker drops back to the 50. Throws a ball. Caught at the 25-yard line. And then dropped by Trey Turner. Let's see if he will have possession before the ball was dropped. He was at the Wake Forest sideline when the ball came out of his hands. It is ruled a catch by Trey Turner.
Oh, wow. This is going to open the debate for sure. And also Turner having a little trouble with that right leg, I believe, when he comes down. So that's a 1-2-3. And he's definitely making a football move, and I think he makes the catch and fumbles it out of bounds. So this will definitely be a first down here for Virginia Tech as it comes from behind him. Obviously a catch. Fortunate enough for Virginia Tech that it rolls out into the white. But this could be a serious blow as Turner is right now on the field. He's not staying up right now as he went down. He's going to have some help, and it is that right leg, Evan.
And Kalen Carson doing a nice job of kind of punching that football out. He did fumble, but it's out of bounds. So the Hokies have the ball in the red zone, but with Turner limping and requiring medical attention, we'll step aside for a break as well. 23-13, Virginia Tech trailing Wake Forest, but threatening in the red zone. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to 3304 Sports, live coverage of ACC football from Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Welcome back to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Virginia Tech driving against the Demon Deacons, trailing 23-13 in a drive. And what feels like they absolutely have to have points here in the 4th quarter. Officials just took a look at the previous play. Trey Turner caught a ball, took 3 steps, fumbled the ball, and then ran out of bounds. The call on the field is confirmed. First down, Virginia Tech, 8:07 to play in the 4th quarter. 23-13, the Demon Deacons have been in control of this game since the 1st quarter. Virginia Tech has trailed the entire way.
Hokies able to do well in this drive with 2 holding calls as well, Evan. That's big for running right now.
Herbert to the right of Hooker in the gun. 2 receivers to the right of Hooker from the Wake Forest 29-yard line. Hooker the snap, rolls right, throws right, tipped incomplete. What an effort from A.J. Williams, getting his right hand high in the air, breaking up what would have been a completed pass for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, looking to get to Caleb Smith right there on the right sideline, but A.J. Williams just gets enough on it to bounce it over the head of Smith and brings up 2nd down and 10.
Clock stops, 7:55, 2nd and 10 from the Wake 27-yard line. Hooker claps his hands, fakes the read option, fires over the middle, in and out of the hands of Caleb Smith at the 10-yard line.
You know, very similar play to the ending of that first half right there. You have Smith going to be cutting down the middle of the field and Hooker just throwing it over the hands of Caleb Smith. So Smith's been open. Smith's been getting these targets, but he doesn't have anything to show for it yet. He still has 0 catches on the day.
7:51 to play. Hokies 4 of 11 converting on 3rd down today. From the Wake 27, Mitchell in the slot to the right of Hendon Hooker. It's Herbert right to the right of Hendon Hooker on 3rd and 10, needing to get to the 19. Hooker the snap, pressure coming. He is sacked and the ball comes out. Looks like Virginia Tech fell on the ball, but Carlos Boogie Basham, the redshirt senior from Roanoke, Virginia, crushed Hendon Hooker.
Oh, he did not see him coming whatsoever. Came from behind and just delivered the major blow. Look at him look around the right guard, Luke Tanua. He just gets around him easily, and then right when he's looking like he's getting back to get ready to throw, that's where Basham lays the blow on Hooker. Fortunately for Virginia Tech, you have Smith falling on top of it and keeps the ball within a field goal range to get it to Brian Johnson.
If Wake Forest recovered that football, that might have been the dagger for the Demon Deacons. Brian Johnson 2 for 3 today, 51-yard attempt from the left hash. Here is the kick. It is wide left, no good. No points for Virginia Tech. Second miss of the day for Brian Johnson, and Wake Forest takes over with great field position, leading by 10, just under 7 minutes to play.
That's going to hurt for Virginia Tech. Brian Johnson, he's been able to make those field goals. He made a 53-yarder back against the University of North Carolina 2 weeks ago, but this one just took it from the left hash line, but just did not pull it to the right enough, and it stayed left the entire time. And for Virginia Tech, this is all about what do we have to do defensively to force a turnover now, because Wake Forest, with under 7 minutes to go, looks like they're heading on their way to a 3-2 record.
Carlos Boogie Basham, he went to Northside High School, comes up with a huge sack on 3rd and 10. On 1st and 10, here is the snap. Hand off to Kenneth Walker, the third. Races near side across the 40-yard line. Might be close to a first down. And Wake Forest will try to continue to just run the clock here. 2nd down and 3, 6.5 minutes to play. Demon Deacons lead 23-13. They've ran for 234 yards in today's game to just 201 for the Hokies.
A crazy stat about Basham, that's 23 straight games with a tackle for a loss, the longest active streak.
And you might be seeing him playing on Sunday. 2nd and 3 from their own 41. Hartman the snap, hands off to Beal Smith, angles far side, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. Rayshard Ashby the first in to make the stop for the Hokies. And here is the 3rd down you're looking for if you're Virginia Tech and Coach Justin Fuente. He calls his 2nd timeout of the half. And if you're Virginia Tech, you have to get a stop here.
Well, that's definitely the case. Risky call here to call the timeout with 6:07 left, but I like the idea of it. You make a stop here on 3rd down. If it's an incomplete pass or something like that, you look at 6 minutes left and an opportunity to go down the field again, though. Wake Forest with all 3 timeouts remaining, though, so they look to be good on the time management side, but it showed the miscommunication early on in the 3rd quarter, which cost Virginia Tech a timeout. That's huge right now as they're down by 10.
Well, as they talk it over, we'll step aside for a break here on 3304 Sports. Critical 3rd down coming for Wake Forest. Hokies trying to stay in it. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to 3304 Sports live from beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Welcome back to Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 3rd and short coming for Wake Forest. Justin Fuente just called a timeout to stop the clock. And Andy, if Virginia Tech's going to get back in this game, it feels like they have to come away with a stop.
Yeah, this is the climax of the game right here. This is the turning point. If Wake Forest is able to convert, they are able to take a massive amount of time off that clock. If Virginia Tech makes a defensive stop, though, you're looking at maybe 5 minutes and a handful of seconds to really work down the field and bring this game back to a tie, maybe even win.
Hokies only have 1 timeout remaining. Well, Virginia Tech today, 9 penalties for 95 yards, 2 interceptions. Brian Johnson has missed 2 field goals, and all of that is accumulated into a 23-13 deficit. They have yet to lead in today's game. Wake Forest, their defense has come to play. It's been headlined by Carlos Boogie Basham, who had that critical sack of Hendon Hooker on 3rd down that forced the long field goal try from Brian Johnson just a couple of minutes ago, which he missed wide left. So out comes Sam Hartman, and the Wake Forest offense, Wildcat set. Kenneth Walker, the third, takes the snap, runs far side trying to turn the corner. He does not do so. A loss of a yard. Walker, the third, could not run up the middle, tried to bounce off tacklers outside. Divine Diablo in on the stop. 4th down, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech desperately needed that.
Well, that's the first big step in making this comeback in this game, everyone, was making that defensive stop. Now you're going to look at yourself saying, 5 minutes left, we got to get 10 points, got to work down that field quickly with only one timeout. So it's going to be key clock management skills here from the Hokies from here on out. For Wake Forest, it's going to be about just making a big-time stop or forcing another turnover.
Ivan Mora comes out to punt, just his second punt of the day. Tavion Robinson is back deep to return for Virginia Tech. Clock runs under 5:20 to play fourth quarter. Mora, the snap, pressure comes, high end over end kick. Robinson lets the ball drop out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. 5:10 to play. Hokies trail by 10. Hendon Hooker has not been perfect today. 2 interceptions, but he does have a chance to try and rally his troops and stage a comeback late.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you perform in the game. If you're able to lead your team back into this one and win it, that's what you'll be viewed as for the result of the game.
Hendon Hooker came in today having yet to turn the football over, but an interception in the back of the end zone late in the first half, interception in the red zone early in the second half. Look back on it, those were 2 pivotal moments in this game. 1st and 10 for Virginia Tech. Hooker is in the gun. Blackshear to his left from the 27-yard line. Low snap, drops back to the 20. Design quarterback roll. Hooker steps up and runs. He's across the 35 to the 40, across the 45, and he's brought down near midfield at Virginia Tech's own 49-yard line. First down, Hokies.
It's a big first down indeed, but you remember, you have to be smart with where you're moving the ball. A run like that, and you get tackled toward the first down, that's a massive amount of time going off the clock.
2 receivers to the left and right for Hooker. Read option, handoff to Herbert, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Excellent tackle from the corner, A.J. Williams. 2nd and 10, clock runs under 4:40.
You see this when those plays happen, when you get those no gained, stay in bounds, that clock keeps on going, you're not making any progress downfield.
From their own 48-yard line, the snap to Hooker. Drops back to the 40, throws near side. Throw is low. Looking for James Mitchell in the flat. Clock will stop at 4:26. Hokies trailing 23-13.
4:26 left. At least the clock is stopped, but now you're working with a 3rd and 10. And that's not going to be easy right now for the Hokies. And of course, it's 4-down territory now, so you have to start thinking about, if you don't get this, what you're going to dial up on 4th down, or if you get it, what you're going to do going forward.
4-down territories. The Hokies today 4 for 12 on 3rd down. 2 receivers to the left of Hooker. 5 down linemen for Wake Forest. Motions Herbert into the flat. Hooker the snap. Surveys and throws over the middle. Caught. Gallo across the Wake Forest 45. Down to the 43. He's 2 yards shy, bringing up 4th and short, and Virginia Tech will go for it.
Great hit there by Taylor to take Gallo down. He was just close to that first down marker. 4th and 2, the play of the game.
Needing to get to the 40-yard line. Snap to Hooker. Rolls left. Cuts back. Has the first down. And taken down at the Wake Forest 39. Clock stops. 3:58 to go. First down, Virginia Tech. They extend the game.
That's big right there for Hendon Hooker, and big for both teams. 5 of 5 on 4th down conversions together as a team. It shows how good they are offensively, but that's just a major step towards a comeback for Tech.
Deep breath for Hendon Hooker. Trips to his right, 1 receiver to the left on 1st and 10. Hands off, Blackshear can't spin out of a tackle. Brought down by Carlos Boogie Basham Jr. What a day he's had today.
That's a big tackle, and especially that one-arm tackle to bring Blackshear down is very difficult.
Blackshear lines up to the right of Hooker in the gun. 2 receivers to his left and right. Ball spotted at the Wake 37. Hooker claps his hands and steps out, rolls near side, looking for someone, tucks it, and runs out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. A gain of none. Broken play there.
Broken play, but Hooker was smart with it. He stepped out of bounds and stopped the clock. They're able to, talk about it for a little bit now as, the clock continues to roll as he is pushed out there by Basham. So now you're going to have to work even faster now as you're going to 3 minutes left on a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8, and if you're Justin Fuente, if you get close enough to field goal range, do you consider maybe kicking the field goal, trying the onside kick, getting the points, and then trying to recover and score 6? 3rd and 8, Blackshear to the left of Hooker in the gun. 2 receivers to the left and right. Hooker claps his hands, drops back to the 45, steps up and throws. One-on-one jump ball, far corner of the field. He overthrows Trey Turner, looking to connect with him at about the 5-yard line. 4th and 8, Hooker trying to go for the home run ball there. It's a big play, Trey Turner.
That would have been huge if he was able to catch it and get in the end zone, because then you get rid of that conversation about, all right, how do we respond with maybe getting a touchdown next drive? We don't even need a touchdown that drive, but I was looking really far ahead right there as Hendon Hooker just couldn't find it on the money, and I like the call here to go for the field goal.
Here comes Brian Johnson. He's typically automatic for Virginia Tech, but he's missed twice today. He just missed from 51 yards on the previous drive. 2 of 4 today, a long of 31. His career long is 54. This a 54-yard kick from the left hash. Here's the snap, the hold, swing of the leg. This has the distance, and it's good. Brian Johnson ties a career-high 54-yard field goal, and Virginia Tech cuts the deficit 23-16 with 2:38 to play.
That's a huge field goal, and it's really hard to trust with a field goal kicker who just missed a 51-yarder. You say, add 3 more yards back and let him go at it? Well, career high was 54, and now he has a season high with the 54-yarder, and he knew it once he kicked it. He saw the confidence on his face, but now he got the 3 points. Now there's got to be a touchdown coming up very soon for Virginia Tech, and with no 2-minute warning, college football, they only have one way to stop it, so it's going to be weird. I think you maybe consider going for the onside kick here, because you're not going to maybe have another opportunity of getting the ball.
2 weeks ago against North Carolina, Brian Johnson recovered his own onside kick. Typically on kickoffs, John Parker Romo, the kickoff specialist, goes out there. You might see both Parker Romo and Brian Johnson go out, because it looks like Virginia Tech will attempt an onside kick. They have just 1 timeout with 2:38 to play in the 4th quarter. So the Hokies have recovered 1 onside kick on the year. However, that was a moment early in the second half where North Carolina was not expecting an onside kick. Not only did the Hokies recover it, Brian Johnson, who kicked it, recovered the onside kick himself.
It was one of the best onside kicks I've ever seen from a college kicker, to say the least. I mean, it was a perfectly executed play. And if you see this lineup going on here for Virginia Tech, who knows what's going to be dialed up.
Johnson lines up next to Parker Romo. The one's to the left of the football, that's Johnson. To the right of the football, Parker Romo. 2 kickers out. Johnson holds his right arm in the air. Romo will kick it. This is a high kick. Big collision at the 50-yard line. A flag is thrown. Multiple flags are thrown. Wake Forest recovers the football. It looks like Nolan Gruel came up with it for the Demon Deacons.
Man, and Gruel took a grueling hit right there afterwards. You could tell that Virginia Tech was running to go get it. It wasn't a bad onside kick here from John Parker Romo. It had the hop to it. It didn't have that kind of bounce feature that you're looking for. And man, what a recovery there by Gruel, and then giving the Wake Forest Demon Deacons a significant chance to win this game now.
Actually, looks like the cornerback, Jasir Taylor, went up and made the catch. So my apologies. There were a couple of Demon Deacons around the football, and Jasir Taylor, not only did he recover, but he hung on to the ball after a really big hit from the recovery team of Virginia Tech. So there is a flag, no official call yet. Here it is, personal foul on Virginia Tech, says referee Jeff Heiser. So Wake Forest is going to have terrific field position here. 2:37 to play. They lead 23-16. Hokies have 1 timeout. Wake Forest has all 3 of their timeouts. Again, Jasir Taylor, the cornerback, absorbing what was a huge hit from Dax Hollyfield. Coming in high around the neck area, too. Definitely what looked to be a potential dangerous play.
And that penalty brings the Hokies above 100 penalty yards in the game, so that's where the emphasis will be in this matchup for sure. And now you're just saying 2:37 left, and 40-second play clock for each one. You do have an opportunity with 1 timeout, but with any first down, this game will be over, and Wake Forest will improve to 3-2. The Hokies will drop to a 3-2 record.
And Brian Johnson just tied a career-long 54-yard field goal on 1st and 10. Hartman hands off to his running back, Kenneth Walker III. Nowhere to go. He's met immediately by Justice Reed, the Hokies defensive end. And Justin Fuente calls his final timeout with 2:31 to play.
And just realizing that after all that penalty and after they gave them position, they started this drive at the Virginia Tech 34, which means that they're still in field goal range there for Nick Skiba. And he's one of the better kickers in the league, the nation as well. So watch for him to get involved maybe and really close this game out for the Demon Deacons.
Christian Beal-Smith, 129 yards on the ground today. Kenneth Walker, 64 yards on the ground. This two-headed monster for Wake Forest has really showed and been a difficult task for Virginia Tech all day. 2nd down and 9, 2:31 to play. Demon Deacons leading by a touchdown. A first down essentially ends it, as Andy just said a moment ago. Again, it's been great to have you with us on 3304 Sports. We invite you to go follow 3304 Sports on Twitter. See the excellent coverage we'll have for you post-game from Chris Hirons, David Cunningham, Jackson Didlake, 3304 Sports football beat reporters. You can also catch 3304 Kickoff next week, our weekly show that'll analyze the Virginia Tech Louisville game next week. 2nd down and 9. Hartman and the Demon Deacons out of the timeout. Have the ball at the Virginia Tech 34-yard line. Pistol set. Beal-Smith is the back. Here is the snap. Read option handoff. Beal-Smith wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, and the clock will churn under 2:20 to play. Brings up 3rd down.
Well, this has been 2 great defensive stops for Virginia Tech. I mean, they kind of know what Wake Forest is going to run with, but they've been doing a good job at stopping it from happening. And now an injured Virginia Tech Hokie, I believe that's a Barno, who's going to be down to play. So let's see what kind of medical condition he has. It looks like he has that right leg extended, so let's see if it's going to be serious or not. Hopefully it is not there for the Virginia Tech conduct.
Well, the clock stops, 2:14 to go, and we've seen a couple of injuries down the stretch in this second half. 23-16, Wake Forest leads. So the clock should continue to run after Barno is helped up off the field. It'll be on referee Jeff Heeser's signal. And then Wake Forest can run another play. So if you're Virginia Tech here, and keep in mind, Nick Skiba, as you mentioned, one of the best field goal kickers in the country, if they get the football back, you're looking at about 1:20, maybe a minute, with no timeouts, needing a touchdown.
It's going to be a tough task indeed for the Virginia Tech Hokies, but what they've been able to do in the time and pressure is they've been able to really run the ball well. And they just got to be smart where they run the ball too. You can't be going down in bounds anymore if you're not going to get that first down. But that scenario only happens if they're able to make a good stop here and then maybe force Skiba to do something and miss this field goal.
Wake Forest has the ball at the Virginia Tech 34-yard line. Wildcat set. Walker, the third, takes the direct snap, trying to find an opening. He races forward, a gain of 4, gets to the 30-yard line. Clock runs under 1:30. And Wake Forest can take the clock all the way down inside of a minute before Dave Clawson will likely call a timeout and potentially give Nick Skiba a chance to ice the game.
Oh yeah, this is definitely Nick Skiba territory. It's going to be under 50-yard field goal for sure. But yeah, for Virginia Tech Hokies, you got to make a stop here. You got to do something to get in way of Skiba, make him miss it, make him do something. He's been perfect all game for Wake Forest, and he can be the one that really ends it for them.
Under a minute, 7 seconds left before Wake Forest needs to call a timeout. And Dave Clawson standing and talking with linesman Arthur Hardin and calls a timeout with 50 seconds to play. It's the first timeout taken by Dave Clawson in the second half. I mean, what a job he's done since taking over this Wake Forest program a couple of years ago. 4 consecutive bowl games. Last year, Jamie Newman, Sage Surratt, so much excitement about this Demon Deacon team. And then, well, Newman transfers to Georgia. Surratt sits the season out. And what does Dave Clawson do? He rebuilds with Sam Hartman and Ja'Cory Roberson and Kenneth Walker III. This is a very dangerous offense. They put 1 second back on the clock. So 51 seconds. Nick Skiba, the 5'9" junior from Clover, South Carolina, long of 44 on the year. Last season broke the record for consecutive makes with over 31 consecutive last year. This guy has been close to automatic in his Wake Forest career. And he will not get the chance. Dave Clawson elects to punt. So out comes Ivan Mora. He stands at the Virginia Tech 46-yard line. Hokies bring the house. The punt is away. High end-over-end punt. And it is down at the 2-yard line. Hauled in by Jamal Banks. Downs it inside the 5. So with 45 seconds to play, no timeouts, the Hokies are going to need to go the length of the field to try and tie this football game.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good call as the way it worked out. I mean, the ball goes into the end zone. Maybe you say, why not just kick it? But down mark to that 2-yard line, you're looking at it 45 seconds to go. And it's going to be a tough task for Hendon Hooker and the Hokies. But yeah, I would have let Skiba go for it there and really try to finish off the game under your control, not try to give it to someone else to see what they can do.
However, if you miss it, Virginia Tech's got the football at midfield with no timeouts. Now Hooker stands in his own end zone, trips to his right. Only 3 down linemen for Wake Forest. Here is the snap. Hooker rolls right deep in his own end zone, and he lofts the ball down the far sideline, incomplete. Nobody there. It's 2nd and 10 with 39 seconds to play. 23-16 Wake Forest leads.
Yeah, you're going to have to make throws down the field and got to be deep and towards the sidelines because anything in the middle of the field will take more seconds off that clock. I don't know about Hendon throwing away right there. Just try not to force a turnover late in this game and really put the game away.
So 2nd down and 10. You get a first down, the clock stops before the ball is spotted. Trips to the right, one receiver to the left for Hooker. Herbert the back to his right in the gun. He claps his hands, drops back at his own end zone. He steps up towards the goal line. Pressure coming. He throws, tipped off the hands of Khalil Herbert. Incomplete pass with 31 seconds.
Yeah, with a 3-man rush for Wake Forest, they were still able to apply pressure on Hendon Hooker on that play. So that's a big step up there for Wake Forest. And now all of a sudden Virginia Tech has used 14 seconds and hasn't gone anywhere with the football.
Yeah, Virginia Tech would love to just move the chains here and eventually maybe try and get the ball to midfield to give your team a chance for a Hail Mary, a shot to the end zone. Boogie Basham Jr. nodding his head up and down. He's fired up. What a day he's had. 3rd and 10. Hooker the snap. Steps up and throws from his own end zone. Caught at the 15-yard line. Trey Turner. First down Hokies, 24 seconds. Hooker races to the line, will take the snap and throws it to the turf with 20 seconds to play, trying to stop the clock.
So 20 seconds to work with. You've moved it out to about the 16-yard line. And I hope that Virginia Tech has been working on their laddering drills, Evan, because this is going to be much needed now with this much time left.
20 seconds to play, and you look at how Wake Forest is lined up. They've got 4 defenders at the 50-yard line. 4 members of their secondary just waiting for something. Virginia Tech, first down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Hooker the snap, throws towards the sideline, incomplete. Airmails Tavion Robinson at the 31. Now there's 16 seconds, and Virginia Tech really focused on that clock, really not throwing anything over the middle besides the last reception to Trey Turner.
Yeah, and that was the only one that worked. And then now you're thinking to yourself, you got to be able to bring the ball to a good position to maybe throw at the end zone, but I don't even know if that's possible anymore with them being at the 16-yard line with only 16 seconds left.
3rd down and 10, only 3 down linemen for Wake Forest. Hooker takes the snap, pressure still coming. He steps up and throws over the middle. It is intercepted, picked off, hauled in by Nick Anderson. It's his 3rd interception of the game, and it is over. Wake Forest knocks off Virginia Tech at Truist Field. What a day for Nick Anderson, the freshman. His 3rd interception of the game. All 3 turnovers from Hendon Hooker have been caused by Nick Anderson.
Well, Hendon Hooker feels the pressure of it, and he tries to do it with James Mitchell, but he misses him about 5 to 7 yards downfield. So Nick Anderson has just been the right place today. Everywhere that overthrow ball for Nick Anderson, his first one was off a tip drill. The second one was more of a routine kind of one, and that one was a nice, just put it into the basket for right there for Nick Anderson. And what a day defensively. This has got to be the Demon Deacon of the game. He's got to be the player of the game. What a game there for the freshman.
11 tackles, 3 interceptions. Hartman, the snap, drops to a knee, and that will do it. Wake Forest, who started the season 0-2, picked up its first win against Campbell, then put up 40 points on Virginia, and they knock off Virginia Tech at home, 23-16, the final score. What a win for Dave Clausen. What a win for Carlos Boogie Basham, a redshirt senior from Roanoke, Virginia, going up against a team he grew up watching in Virginia Tech. Wake Forest, what a win for the Demon Deacons.
I mean, this is going to be a win that you have saying to yourself, Man, Wake Forest is coming alive now. There's a 3-game win streak. They took in back-to-back ACC wins. Or you can look at it as Virginia Tech did not come today. They did not come and play their best football at all today. We said that they've scored a minimum of 38 points in every single game they've had this year. This game, they're held to 16 points. Obviously a game that Virginia Tech's going to feel like they could have won, but they lost. But Wake Forest, let me tell you, this is a team that is now rallied. They've already played Clemson, one of the toughest teams in the ACC. They got Notre Dame at the end of the season. Watch for them to maybe pick up some wins over the next few weeks into the months of November.
Well, that'll do it for us here inside of Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. What a game and what a win for Wake Forest. For the few fans that are in the stands right now, it is a very great scene as the team's going over to one of the end zones to sing the Wake Forest fight song. We're not done yet, though, here on 3304 Sports. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, 3304 Sports post-game show will break things down and look ahead to next week's matchup as Virginia Tech takes on Louisville. Final score, Wake Forest 23, Virginia Tech 16. We're back with the post-game show in just a moment. Welcome back, 3304 post-game show. What a game today from Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Wake Forest upsetting 19th-ranked Virginia Tech 23-16, the final score. We were so glad to have the call alongside Andy Loce. I'm Evan Hughes. Andy, 10 penalties, over 100 yards for Virginia Tech, 3 picks thrown by Hendon Hooker, 2 missed field goals. What happened today for Virginia Tech?
I think Virginia Tech made more mistakes than successful plays in this game, and that's usually what happens with a loss. But you look at the 10 penalties for 112 yards and the 3 interceptions thrown by Hendon Hooker. He only has 1 interception put to his name with a throw-in wise. I think this is a game that Virginia Tech looked at it as, we can come in here to Winston-Salem. I mean, Winston-Salem's a 2-2 team. We're 3-1. We're 19th in the nation. We can come in this one and really play our style game and play well. Well, I don't think they really played that well at all. This was probably, looking at the statistics of it, Khalil Herbert, only putting up 64 rushing yards, is by far one of the worst performances he's put up this year. And with 39 receiving yards, that's a bright end of it. But you can definitely tell that the Virginia Tech Hokies did not get a good job bringing Hooker's rushing game involved as well as Herbert's.
Wake Forest with its biggest win since 2006. This is the highest ranked team Wake Forest has beaten since 2006 when a lot of the players on this Virginia Tech team were in elementary school. Let's talk about this Demon Deacons team. You know, we mentioned in the pregame how good Sam Hartman was, but he didn't have to do much today. Kenneth Walker III and Christian Beal-Smith, the two-headed monster attack that the Demon Deacons have on the ground, really showed why they're one of the best tandems in all of the ACC.
Yeah, you also look at the offensive efficiency by the Wake Forest offense, and they did a great job. Sam Hartman didn't put the ball into any situation that he thought that he couldn't get it done. But then you also looked at it as, wait, who was running the ball well today? It was Beal-Smith, 129 rushing yards a day. You bring in Walker with 66, and on top of that, even Sam Hartman had a running touchdown today. So for the Demon Deacons, this was a game they played the ball safe, and they were able to play just great enough defensively to not let Virginia Tech get back in this matchup. I wouldn't say this is a great game by either team. You would say that Wake Forest possibly didn't have their best performance today with only scoring 23 points, but the defense played a pivotal role in that game, and we saw that in the second half. Only 12 combined points in that second half after we saw a lot more scoring in that first half. So very low scoring affair today between Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, but when you look at it, it's Virginia Tech making the mistakes. Wake Forest didn't really truly capitalize on it, but they did just enough, and they played smartly enough to make sure that they would pull off the victory in Winston-Salem.
You know, Virginia Tech outpossesses Wake Forest in this game. 30 minutes, 18 seconds for Virginia Tech, 29 minutes, 42 seconds for Wake Forest, fairly even. Go back to the penalty stat. Virginia Tech with over 100 yards in penalties. Meanwhile, Wake Forest, 6 penalties for 79 yards. There was a critical moment in that third quarter, Andy, where it looked like Virginia Tech was going to hold Wake Forest, maybe do a field goal, maybe push him out of field goal range, but Norrell Pollard with that personal foul on third down gave Wake Forest new life. You look back at that moment, that was a pivotal moment in this game.
Yeah, and you look at the penalties. You take apart each and every one of those penalties. That's probably the one that stands out against the Hokies the most because they were getting a rhythm right there. They made the stop defensively. You knew that there were going to be a 3rd and long or 4th and long coming up now against the Virginia Tech Hokies. For Wake Forest against Virginia Tech. But now it turns into, they have a first down inside the red zone again, giving them an opportunity to kick a field goal. And this game was just not Virginia Tech's best effort. And that's probably the best way you can say it happened like that. But these penalties were the ones that caused the Hokies to get to a 4-1 record.
We harped on a couple of stats all game. Coming in today, Virginia Tech ranked second nationally with 312 rushing yards per game. Wake Forest came into today second to last in defending the run in the ACC. Khalil Herbert today for Virginia Tech, just 64 yards on the ground. Hendon Hooker, 98 yards on the ground. Hokies still combined for 210 yards on the ground, but it didn't feel that way. Boogie Basham and that Wake Forest defensive line may be the highlight of the day for the Demon Deacons and shutting down that Tech run.
Oh, they're probably getting questions about it all the time in their press conferences or in their locker room. They're like, Virginia Tech is one of the best rushing teams in the league, and you guys are one of the worst. How are you going to respond to that? Well, they responded very well with that. They had 6 tackles for a loss. They had 3 sacks for 14 yards. And then Boogie Basham. You talk about the 7 solo tackles he had, one of the best players on the defensive line today. You also look at Johns. He had 4 tackles as well on that front 4. But it was also maybe the secondaries that get a little love as well. You talk about Nick Anderson, what he was able to do, 3 interceptions. But on top of that, 11 tackles. He led the team in that, and he also led the team with 9 solo tackles. It was his game for sure. And looking at the statistics of the defensive team, they did a wonderful job.
You know, another big moment in this game as Wake Forest beats Virginia Tech 23-16. You go back late in that second quarter, and Wake Forest converts 3 times on 4th down, and they have over a 7-minute drive. They score a touchdown. Virginia Tech has 90 seconds left to try and score. They get all the way to the red zone, and Hendon Hooker throws an interception. It was the second of the day for Nick Anderson. And then Wake Forest gets the ball to start the second half. They kick a field goal. It's a 10-point game. That was a big swing in this game, the end of the second half, the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, we didn't know at the time, but when Wake Forest scored to make it 17-10, that's when they won this game because Virginia Tech wasn't able to get anything going offensively in that second half, and Wake Forest wasn't able to do it either. So you can't really look at it and say, oh, well, offense sucked. No, both offenses just weren't there today. So that's something that will probably carry on, and that Kenneth Walker, the third run, where he was able to bring some of the Virginia Tech defenders with him into the end zone, will be the standout moment in this game.
Virginia Tech drops to 3-2 on the year. Meanwhile, Wake Forest has won 3 games in a row. They are 3-2 on the season. Up next for Virginia Tech, quickly, the Louisville Cardinals nearly put up 50 points today on Florida State. Hokies go on the road to take on the Cardinals, and that's going to be a tough test for the defense against that potent Louisville offense.
Well, they also have a great triple threat led by Malik Cunningham, and it showed today against Florida State, winning at 48-23 at home. They haven't had the greatest starts of the season. At one point ranked, they dropped to 1-4 heading into this weekend's matchup against Florida State. They're able to get the win, improve up to 2-4. But Virginia Tech, they're going to freshly come off a loss here, and there's some big games down the road. This loss is going to hurt because this loss probably submits them from not being able to play in the ACC Championship this year. So the team is going to have to rally behind saying, all right, what are we playing for now? I mean, everyone's going to, it doesn't matter about record, about going to a bowl game this year as well as what the NCAA has said. So find that motivation, trying to find that spark on Halloween down in Louisville is going to be tough. But I think if Virginia Tech really wants to buy in the trust factor again, I think it's going to have to come in Louisville, and I think they're going to deliver a great offensive performance. They struggled today, but that doesn't mean they can't bounce back next week.
All right, that'll do it for our coverage today on 3304 Sports. A reminder, we'll have a preview of Louisville and Virginia Tech 3304 kickoff. That'll be available on Friday and Saturday, just before Halloween starts next week, and hope you can watch that. Hope you can follow us as well on Twitter at 3304 Sports. See all the great work that our students are doing, from broadcasting esports throughout the week to the great written coverage we have on all Virginia Tech sports. That's at 3304 Sports on Twitter. Andy, it was not as many points as we thought, but still a lot of fun, my friend. I look forward to the next one we get to do.
It was great, Evan. Thank you very much.
That'll do it for 3304 Sports from beautiful Truist Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Your final score, Wake Forest 23, number 19, Virginia Tech with 16 points. 23-16 the final. That'll do it for us. For Andy Loce, I'm Evan Hughes saying so long, and thanks so much for listening to this week's production of 3304 Sports. Have a great week.